We're on it. I think we're going to get there. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. That's for sure. Look at that. It's like magic. Good morning, everybody. It's December 20th, 8 a.m. straight up Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in between Eastern Standard Time and Western Standard Time, Pacific Standard Time, then it's somewhere between 8 and 11. If you're in Arizona, it's like 2 p.m. or something. But everyone else, it's somewhere between 8 and 11, unless you're in Hawaii and Alaska. It's complex space-time continuum, allegedly. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is mentally and physically holding up to the insanity of the holidays and of our meta crisis that we have right now. And make no mistake about it, we are in the shit right now. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a lot today. I've got so much. I've got so much that we could share today. We could go forever. We're going to try and figure out how to do it in a way that keeps it something. I don't know. It's all very stunning. It's all very stunning stuff. This is cognitive dissonance that we're facing here. Here's our thumbnail of the day. Our thumbnail of the day. Scam alert, partnership with the rideshare guy, Giggle Finance and the rideshare guy uh, in the global gig economy, corporate cabal, and fraud. In case you did not know it, the wheels are coming off a lot of the dog shit scams. So, Mr. Spit on You, Mr. Come on You, Mr. Come in You, Cleveland, Missouri, Pedro DoorDash Santos sold you a bill of goods with the payday loan scam that is now dead. If you don't know that, let's take a look real fast. Let's see my channel. Let's share this, and then we'll share community, community. So if we go back to the Mr. Spit on You, uh, we have the message that came out. There was no public news about this, but if you remember the Moves financial scheme, the pink M&Ms that went to Cleveland, Hannibal and Husticle, Cleveland, and the Pedro, and a whole bunch of pink M&M girls went and had a party in Cleveland to celebrate fraud from Toronto. And well, that only lasted a few weeks. It's pretty embarrassing, luckily for all of them, because it's dog shit fraud. Here's the message that they sent out to people. So thanks to our friend Dog Chapman for sharing this. Way to go, Dog Chapman. You the man. Um, from Moves Financial and the Pedro cabal. We hope this message finds you well. Your trust and loyalty as a valued member of Moves Financial has been invaluable to us over the years. I guess over the years they mean like over the past few weeks. Over the years, few weeks, whatever, years, weeks. It is with a heavy heart that we share a significant decision that will impact our relationship with you. Well, that's funny. We're leaving. After careful consideration, we regret to inform you that Moves will be discontinuing its banker services for workers in the gig economy. Oh, what a shock. Oh, no, I'm so surprised. This decision has not been made lightly, and we understand the impact it may have on you. Yeah, I bet it's not been made lightly with all the attorneys general staring down the barrel of their guns at your fraud. Your Move spending account will be officially closed on January 14th, 2024. Oh no, what will Kim's Side Money Plans and Pedro and Zach's Drives Slow triggered? What will they do for banking services now that their favorite app scam, Moves Financial, is gone? What will they do for their banking services that they've enjoyed so very much? Your Move spending account will be officially closed on January 14th, 2024, as part of the account closure process. So yeah, it's a fucking process. We will return the remaining funds in your account, comma, parentheses, if any, Yeah, well, there you go. Minus outstanding fees, via a paper check to the address on file for your account. In other words, you're never going to hear from us again, and there's no fucking recourse. Good luck to you all that got scammed by Pedro. I hope people sue. I hope people sue Pedro and Hustle Cleveland and Hannibal is Thirsty and Moves Financial. Please consider suing them if you lost even a penny on this. Consider suing Moves Financial, Pedro DoorDash Santos, uh, and all of the Hustle Cleveland, Hannibal is Thirsty, anybody that pumped up this scammy scum. Uh, Consider suing them. Consider suing them to retrieve your money. You will win. You will win. Uh, there you go. Stephen Arrow says that's now that's funny right there. That outfit was so damn shady that got shut down quick. Pedro loves dog shit. Yeah, he sure does. Yeah. Laugh. Wild Alaska says, get a real bank. Mary Poppins. Bahaha. Thank God. Exactly. Timothy Slaughter. Wait till they find out all their personal info has been hacked, including the access they granted the bank account. Well, that's a fact. You just fucked up. Bye, Felicia, from our friend Glitch Dash. So we're all celebrating the dog shit failure, but there's some real good points here. And in case you didn't know yesterday, here, I'll just pull it up real fast for you. We're going to go through a lot of fucking news, but this is kind of a view of the stuff that I take in every day. I probably read, I don't know, on average, I look at 100 to a couple hundred articles a day, I would guess, most times to continue to be on top of what's going on because the world that we have right now is moving so quickly, we can't even keep up with the fraud. How do I know? Let me show you. Let me show you. This all fits together real well. So we have coming up here. If you think that Moves Financial having all your information is scary, check this one out. Comcast's Xfinity, so the largest provider of services in the nation, Comcast's Xfinity reports data breach saying hackers access customer data. You all just got doxxed by Comcast. Don't worry about YouTube. You just got doxxed by Comcast. Y'all got doxxed by Comcast. Congratulations. There is no. Remember when I told you a week or two ago, or a month ago, or a year ago, there is no such fucking thing as internet security. In the land of AI, in the land of corporate AI, there is no security. The only thing you have with this device is your own slavery. There's no security, but you are a slave. They have 24/7 access to everything you do, everywhere you go, everything you think and read and perceive. They're sucking it in with their dog shit machine to kill you. Hackers accessed Xfinity's. What the fuck just happened to me? This commercial just jumped in front of my eyes. That's terrible. What happens when you try and read the newspaper these days? Hackers accessed Xfinity's customers' personal information by exploiting a vulnerability in software. What is AI? Software. What's killing you? Software used by the company, and the Comcast owned telecommunications business announced this week. Oh, remember South Park? Well, we're Comcast. Sorry. We're sorry. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. It's too bad Comcast screwed you over. Too bad. Nothing you could do about it, but it's too bad. In a Monday notice, Xfinity said there was unauthorized access to internal systems as a result of this vulnerability, which was previously announced by the software provider Citrix between October 16th and 19th. So they slept on the job between October 16th and December 20th. That's 2 months for those of us keeping score at home. They slept on the job, and now you've been doxxed by Comcast and Xfinity. You're fucking welcome. You're fucking welcome. Capitalism fucking loves you. There is no doubt about that. The fascist, the anarcho-fascist empire of the United States really loves your ass. You are a fucking valuable slave. How do you know you're a valuable slave? Well, there's just too many ways to count. But let's check out this one. So this is the little just news brief. Here's a fucking terrifying one. This is my favorite awful news from maybe yesterday, I think it was. So check that. You're not even going to believe. I tell you, you're not going to believe it, but you're not going to fucking believe it. What just happened to it? Did I accidentally close it? Oh no, here it is. I think I accidentally moved it. Share this. Want that? Okay, that's big. I'm small. We're good. Okay, so Rite Aid hit with a 5-year fake facial recognition ban over reckless use. The FTC is also requiring the pharmacy chain to delete all the photos and videos it captured of customers. So, Rite Aid has been illegally and improperly using facial recognition software without anyone's permission, illegally, to target people and stalk people in their stores, violating people's human and civil rights. What percentage of the U.S. Drugstore market does Rite Aid? I'm going to look it up. Rite Aid market share. So you guys are already being killed by AI and you don't even know it. You're being hunted down by fraud. Let's see. Largest pharmacies by RX drugs market share 2022. Number of stores Rite Aid in the US by state. What do we got here for this shitty corporation? This fucking dog shit. Pennsylvania has 487 of these assholes. Oregon, Rite Aid's big in Oregon. We got 68. California's got 477. New York's got 271. Michigan's got 249. Ohio, Washington. See, these guys split it up with what's the other Rite Aid and the other big drugstore. It doesn't matter. They're all monopolies, right? And they're using their monopoly power to fleece, destroy, and perpetrate crimes upon humanity. That's what these guys do. That's what they do. So let's read a little bit more of this. Rite Aid isn't allowed to use AI powered facial recognition technology for another 5 years as part of a settlement it reached with the FTC. So it's a settlement. Nobody got in trouble. It's a settlement. It's a settlement. We settled. It's all fine. In the complaint filed on Tuesday, the FTC accuses Rite Aid of using facial surveillance systems in a, quote, reckless, end quote, manner from 2012 to 2020. Your civil rights and human rights have been violated by Rite Aid for fucking I don't know, 9 years. They say it stopped now. Why would you believe them? Why would you believe anybody? Why would you believe that every retailer in the United States isn't doing this same shit? During this period, the FTC says Rite Aid used facial recognition technology to, quote, capture images of all customers as they entered and moved through the stores, end quote. It then allegedly created a database of customers identified as shoplifters or exhibiting some kind of other suspicious behavior. What's suspicious behavior? Being black, I bet, suspicious. I bet you being black suspicious. I bet you being a black teenager is fucking suspicious behavior. I bet you being a black woman's really suspicious. I bet you being poor or homeless is suspicious as fuck. I bet you go in there, you're poor or homeless, they just mark you as a suspicious character. Now you're going to be stalked around Rite Aid stores. Kroger does this dog shit too. Kroger uses their security agents to stalk people in the stores. Who do you think they stalk? Black people. Good morning, Necro. We're looking at the racist dog shit, which is our anarcho-fascist state. So, during this period, the FTC says Rite Aid used facial recognition technology to, quote, capture images of all customers as they entered and moved through the stores. It then allegedly created a database of customers identified as shoplifters or exhibiting some other kind of suspicious behavior. Remember the no-fly list? Remember the good old no-fly list? Well, this is a corporate version of the good old no-fly list, except you don't even know the rules. You don't even know you're on it. You don't even know you're on it. You're just on a corporate no-fly list, but nobody told you. Nobody told you. You're just another victim of AI. You think the oligarchs are dealing with this dog shit? You think Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and Tony Hsieh and David Risher are getting face scanned and followed and stalked and destroyed from inside? No, 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 no. They wouldn't let that happen to them. They got fucking security measures. For some customers, the database would have, quote, accompanying information such as names, birth dates, and activity deemed suspicious by the store, according to the complaint. Like the drugs you're getting, they know what prescriptions you're having, and they're marking you with your name, birth date. They're not; these aren't cops. These people don't have any rights to mark you and flag you. When a flagged shopper entered a Rite Aid store with facial recognition technology, the FTC says employees would receive a, quote, match alert. Oh, black person. Black person. We also know that facial recognition software doesn't work on people with darker skin. Oh, no. Guess what? It's a racist system. We live in apartheid. Oh, good. Way to go, fucking fascist anarcho bullshit motherfuckers. You fucking rotten bitches. Good morning, Chris. We're looking at corporate America as fucking terrorism is what we're looking at here, and I'm getting crusty already. I'm already getting crusty and foul. But crusty and foul is the only way to deal with this dog shit. So the store people would get an alert set to their mobile phone. So these store people are not officers. These store people could be a stalker or a criminal too. These are just employees. They're getting your data set to their phone with your information. As a result, Rite Aid employees allegedly followed customers around stores, performed searches, and I'm going to put in the illegal searches, publicly accused them of shoplifting, and even asked the authorities to remove certain shoppers, according to the complaint. The FTC says Rite Aid falsely identified people as shoppers who had previously flagged by the system with incidents, quote, disproportionately, end quote, you ready for it? Impacting people of color because facial recognition technology doesn't work properly on people of color. But you know who they don't care if they get caught in the net? People of color. You got it. Man, what a fucking scam this bullshit is. What a fucking racist dog shit nation we live in. World, I should say. We don't really have nation. This is just an anarcho-fascist global government. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have recognized the fraud of the U.S. government as a legitimate entity. My bad. Additionally, the pharmacy chain didn't inform customers that it used facial recognition technology while employees were, quote, instructed not to reveal, end quote, this information, the complaint states. So it's all secrets. It's all secrets. It's all corporate secrets. Are you a good corporate secret holder? I'm a shitty corporate secret holder. I just spill them fuckers. I just out them fraudsters right away. But if you're a good corporate secret holder, you might want to work for Rite Aid. You can be a fucking terrorist. You can be a racist. You can wear your KKK hat at Rite Aid. Fucking racist sons of bitches. Racist sons of bitches. You got to go there to get your medicine. You're a person of color. They're going to fucking follow you around like a criminal. They're the fucking criminals. You get this shit? You get this fucking dog shit that you're supposed to buy into, and then they're claiming that it's theft of poor people stealing is why they have to close stores because poor people steal. Sure they do. Rite Aid stores equipped with facial recognition technology were located in, quote, New York City, Los Angeles, Sacramento, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Detroit, Atlantic City, and a handful of other cities. Gee, there's a lot of black people in those cities, aren't there? That's a real head scratcher. So just like the insurance industry, they're using software that doesn't work on human lab rats and fucking up their lives with it. Wow. You should trust these guys, huh? You want to trust these guys? You can trust Rite Aid? You can trust Rite Aid? I'm never going to trust Rite Aid ever again. Why would you trust Rite Aid? This is a dog shit fucking fascist corporation. These people are not medical care providers. They don't provide you with advice or with good products. They're fucking terrorists. Rite Aid's reckless use of facial surveillance systems left its customers facing humiliation and other harms, and its order violations put consumers' sensitive information at risk. What a fucking betrayal! For 9 years, Rite Aid betrayed you, and nobody is in trouble. Nobody's going to jail. It's just a fucking settlement. Wow. What about the fucking Grand Dragon of the KKK that runs Rite Aid? How are they doing? I'm just gonna keep the Dragon position. Get a nice new fucking KKK uniform for the holidays, motherfuckers. God damn it, I'm fucking pissed off today. You want to know why I got arrested many times for civil disobedience? Because of this fucking dog shit. Because of this fucking dog shit. Because people of color and women and minorities and immigrants and anybody without power in this nation, like app slaves, you're just fucking fodder. You're just fucking cannon fodder. You're fucking cannon fodder. And if you think that anybody gives a fuck if you live or die, you are buying into your own fucking genocide. I'm going to prove it to you. I ain't done yet. You're going to want to stick with this fucking show. Yeah. Well, Sam Lee, pay your way out of jail. Look, cash bail was invented to keep black people in jail. Cash bail system is not used around the world. It's used in the United States, and it was used in the United States to keep black people in jail, which is why we have the highest incarceration rate in the world. Because we keep you in jail whether you're innocent or guilty. Don't matter. Only the rich people get out. Poor people get thrown in jail, whether they're innocent or guilty, they're fucked. They're staying right there. And they'll just find you guilty anyway. Doesn't matter. Or they'll force you into a plea agreement to save your own fucking life. Because they'll put you in such jeopardy if you go to trial that they'll extort you into accepting a guilty plea when you're not guilty. And then when you say, well, I'm accepting the guilty plea, but I didn't really do it, the judge is like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't say I'll plead guilty to fit your system because I don't want my life to be thrown away. You have to go like, oh yeah, I did it. I did it, judge. I'm a guilty guy. I feel really bad about it. That's what you have to do. It says the system makes you lie. Even if you're not guilty, if you want to survive the system, you got to lie and say you're guilty to survive the system, because the system won't allow you to maintain your innocence and keep your life. You're going to have to sacrifice yourself if you want your civil rights. When you get sent to jail as an innocent person, you have to sacrifice yourself for your civil rights. That's what America does. We don't have civil rights. We don't have human rights here. There's an anarcho-fascist state. And look at this dog shit. Today's groundbreaking order makes clear that the commission will be vigilant in protecting the public from unfair biometric surveillance and unfair data security practices. Really? So like every time we're exploited for a decade, you're going to catch them and slap them on the hand after we're exploited for a decade? Man, these FTC fuckers can suck their own dicks, can't they? These FTC fuckers just suck their own dicks. It's like, look at us, man. We caught Rite Aid from 2012 to 2020. Well, what year is it? Oh, it's 2023. Oh, okay. Okay, well, great job, FTC. You really fucking nailed it. You're on top of it. Look, man, the FTC is only 3 years behind on their 10-year investigations. The FTC is only 3 years behind on their 10-year investigations. So things are going to be fine. The FTC's got your back. Got your fucking back. Unless you're black, in which case, just fuck you. Just fuck you if you're black. You got sold out like a motherfucker. Oh man, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen fucking nothing yet. So we got Moves Financial failing, right? You got Moves Financial failing. You got facial recognition technology being misused, particularly in a racist sense. You got yourself uh, you got yourself fraud scams of the global gig economy running wild. Who is protecting you from this anarcho-fascist exploitation? Nobody. Only you can protect yourself. The only way you're protected from this anarcho-fascist exploitation is to not use their systems. I mean, look, you can't trust Rite Aid. That's the bottom line. You can't trust Rite Aid. You cannot trust that corporation to give you fair medical services, fair prescription services. They should be out of business. They should be shut down. Fuck those guys. These are just global monopolies running scams on you one after the other. And the good old FTC is going to save you 3 years in arrears every time. I wonder if 3 years after our genocide, the FTC will do an investigation. 3 years after we're all dead, the FTC is going to do a fucking hell of an investigation. Let's listen to our friend Daniel Schmachtenberger make a quick statement here. And we listened to this yesterday, but we're going to listen to it again. We'll probably listen to it twice. Because it's real basic. It's real fundamental. Real fucking fundamental. Remember RIF? Reading is fundamental. What a fun acronym that was. Reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental. Let's watch Daniel Schmachtenberger here give us a little fundamental, give us
who really
education.
Part of sanity is people's ability to actually understand the reality they live in so they can make good choices about how they want to go about navigating that reality.
Part of sanity is understanding the world that we live in so that we can make reasonable choices. That is what is being kept from you in the gig economy. That is why you are an app slave. That is why we are all slaves to this anarcho-fascist state. Not just app slaves, we are all slaves. Because without truth, we can't make relevant decisions as human beings. Our agency and our freedom has been taken away from us. Let's listen again, shall we? I'll slow him down just a tad bit because it goes by so fast and it's so fucking good.
Part of sanity is people's ability to actually understand the reality they live in so they can make good choices about how they want to go about navigating that reality.
So there you go. So let's do that. Let's do some deductive reasoning here. Let's pretend that we're Sherlock Holmes. So if part of sanity is understanding what reality is so you can make good decisions, then that means that gig apps are by definition insane. Gig apps are tools of insanity. Gig apps and app slavery and corporate AI are tools of insanity because humans do not have the ability to understand what reality is anymore. The risk of corporate AI isn't just that it's going to take your job, it's going to take your life. It's going to take your possessions. It's going to take your resources. It's going to take your home. It's going to take everything. These folks will not stop. And remember, the systems that they're built are racist and sexist and fascist. The systems that they built are pure fraud. That's how you know that you have no functioning American government. Whichever fucking idiot runs for president, it doesn't matter. There is no election coming in a year. We'll see, one day at a time. If there's an election in a year, then we'll have an election in a year. If Donald Trump is there, then Donald Trump will be there. If Joe Biden's there, then Joe Biden will be there. There's a lot of fucking crazy people. But sitting here today on December 20th, 2023, and worrying about an election that you can do nothing about and that has literally no impact upon you on this day, next November 15th of 2024, a day which we is not even guaranteed to us as a day of our life. It's just our imagination. You understand that the election is an illusion. The election is a statement of what's going to happen in the future. We don't know that. Countries end. The USSR ended. It was a lot bigger than we are. Many countries end. The United States will end. One of two things is going to happen. The United States will end, humanity will end, or both. But the United States is not a forever country. We make forever chemicals. We're not a forever country. Our chemicals and our plastics and our terror and our artificial intelligence may be around forever, but we're not going to be around forever. We're fucking temporary. Our borders are temporary. Our fucking octogenarian and septuagenarian wannabe dictators are all temporary. Don't buy into the fucking madness. They're not real. None of these things are real. A president does not run the United States. The fucking corporations are running you into the ground with your own genocide, and you're fucking distracted by who's woke or what fucking octogenarian baby boomer terrorist is going to want to murder the world next. You're being sold genocide all over the world. Oh, guess what? You can't win war. War can't be won. You can't win the war in Ukraine. You can't win a war anywhere. There is no war for you. Wars are for kings. Wars are the sport of kings. It's called genocide. You die. They don't. They ain't leading you into battle. This isn't a movie. They're just exterminating people all over the world. All over the world. All over the world. Why did they have pirates in Africa? Because the oil companies came and took all their land and didn't give them any jobs. Didn't give them any jobs. So what are they going to do? They're like, all right, well, we'll make jobs out of your industry. We'll be pirates. That's what's happened in the U.S. If there's no laws, if the corporations are allowed to rape and pillage your local community, then aren't you allowed to rape and pillage corporations? I mean, we all have equal protection under the law. If Rite Aid's allowed to commit crimes against humanity, are we not all allowed to commit crimes against humanity and just get a fine later? If gig apps are allowed to commit contract fraud every day with millions of app slaves, hundreds of millions of app slaves and billions of orders every day, they're allowed to commit fraud. Every single one. Fraud. Algorithmic wage discrimination, algorithmic pricing adaptation, skimming, black box AI, not auditable, run by the most evil, greedy oligarchs that have ever existed in the history of man. You got to be shitting me now. You got to be shitting me now. Now, how about this? As society falls a fucking apart, which it is, society's falling apart right before our very eyes, and they're going to blame you for it, right? They're going to blame you for your genocide. The poor people, you being poor is and homeless. You being poor and homeless in the gig economy, it's your fault. You're the problem to be solved. You understand that, right? You're the problem, because humans require care and medical care and housing and food. Humans require humanity. Humans require management and care and humanity. But they don't want to give us humanity. They want to give us artificial intelligence, which is anti-human. Okay, well, let's watch this. Let's imagine, right? So that's now Road Warrior. We're now paying Road Warrior. Check this. You're not going to fucking believe this. A friend sent this to me this morning. I can't even fucking believe it. I know what's going on. We all know what's going on, but I've never seen it before. You want to see the cops? You want to see the cops fucking go after black delivery drivers? Watch this fucking shit. You're not going to fucking believe it. Here we go. This is from the civil rights lawyer. What a great name that is. DoorDash caught in a fishing expedition. So you're going to see some terrorist police officers harassing young black men attempting to work DoorDash and being fucking swine, pigs, Nazis, and fascists that they are. It's disgusting. You're not going to fucking believe it. I can't fucking believe it, except I know it happens every day. Look, I go out and talk to people, or I did. I don't go out as much now as I used to in the days when I worked in the streets a lot. But go out and talk to people in the streets. Like these people, black people in Portland get pulled over by the police for crossing a parking lot on their bike. Okay, you don't have to do anything to get fucking accosted by the cops if you're black. You just don't have to do a goddamn thing, except for just be there. Now, so is it safe? Is it safe to be a gig worker? I would say it's wholly unsafe. I would say being a gig worker is basically putting yourself in the line of fire for a global corporation who has no responsibility. Let's watch what happens here. Oh man, this is amazing. Here we go. This is DoorDash driver. I'm sorry, DoorDasher caught in fishing expedition from the civil rights lawyer. We got it up there. Man, this is great stuff.
Congratulations to these cops in Wisconsin for some mighty fine police work, catching 3 teenagers attempting to earn some money delivering DoorDash.
You're door dashing right here?
Yeah, I swear to God, like this is where we was going. I got the food, that's all I
Can I
was
see the
wondering.
address? You shouldn't be pulling to the back of a parking lot when someone turns their lights on.
No, we understand that, but we was coming here anyway. So it was like, instead of holding up.
You shouldn't be pulling into a parking lot when somebody turns on. I love cops who tell you how to pull your, no matter how you pull your car over. When I've been pulled over by cops before, no matter how you pull your car over, you did it wrong. You didn't do it like the cop wanted you to. They want you on your heels right away because they're fucking terrorists. Listen to these fucking terrorists.
Traffic and stop right here. Just pull right here.
You should still stop right away, all right? And you're not getting out of the car right now to deliver that, okay? You got an ID on you? I stopped because you're going 49 and a 30. All right, is this your vehicle? Whose vehicle is this? Your big sister's? Is this your current address, Little Rock? Do you have an address up here? How long are you staying up here? Okay, so you're just here for the summer or something? Are you two from here?
Man, that's a lot of fucking questions for somebody driving their car around as a free person, isn't it? That's a lot of questions.
What's your phone number, man? All right, why don't you step out for me?
Me?
Yep. Why don't all three of you come out? Leave the phone in there, sir. Step out, leave the phone. Leave the phone in there.
Why can't he have his phone?
Leave the phone
Why
in there.
can't he have his phone?
Because I'm telling you, you can't right now.
Is
We're
that a law?
investigating something.
Is that a
okay?
law?
Put your phone in there right now. Put your phone in there. Put your phone in there. Because I'm going to search the car for marijuana.
Okay, well,
We're investigating.
Now they're gonna search the car for marijuana. These fucking pigs. Look at that bitch in the back. The fucking Nazis. Fuck you, pigs. Fuck you, pigs.
Something you're not allowed on the phone.
TJ, you making this?
Put it in there. I'm not going to ask you again.
It's a lawful order.
Lucidchart makes intelligent diagramming easy and helps.
All right, welcome back to the Civil Rights Lawyer channel. I'm John Bryan. Several people submitted this video to me and wanted to hear my thoughts on it. This happened in Wisconsin. This was originally uploaded by the YouTube channel Patrolling Wisconsin. Check them out, give them the credit they deserve. Let's go through this together. There are several interesting issues here having to do with basically a traffic stop for speeding that almost from the very beginning was actually a drug investigation and possibly racial profiling. Let's go through it. This video begins as basically a run-of-the-mill traffic stop. The
Possibly racial profiling. Possibly racial profiling. You never know.
allegation was going 49 miles per hour in a 30 mile per hour
I'm not teasing the civil rights lawyer here. I'm just laughing. I'm laughing with him, not at him. This is great work, and I truly appreciate what this gentleman does.
zone. Of course, if you look at this footage, you can see that in West Virginia, this would be like a 70 mile per hour zone because it's basically a 4-lane highway with raised medians. So this looks like a speed trap-ish area anyways, but no other criminal allegation other than the speeding. And as sometimes happens, when somebody who's being pulled over doesn't immediately submit to the authority of the government, they flip out, the police officers flip out. So you can see for yourself here from assuming that the emergency lights turned on when the body cam was activated. Really, I don't see a problem here. He was going to this location already. He makes a U-turn and he pulls in to a safe and appropriate location to park in a traffic stop. I've certainly seen much worse, but that doesn't stop these cops from getting aggressive and escalating the situation from the very first moment, which is what happens here.
You're looking good. Appleton South of Mount Williams, Adam Robert K 945 ARK 945. You would start me a second. Okay, Bert. Well, do the stay in the car. Stay in the car. No. You roll the windows down for me.
Motion 246.
What's going on? Why are you trying to dip out on me?
This is door dashing.
Okay. You're door dashing right here?
Yeah, I swear to God, like this is where we was going. I could sit with. Yeah, we was spending nothing food. That's all.
Can I see the address? You pulled a U-turn real fast and pulled in here. When a cop turns their lights on, you're supposed to pull over right away. All right? You shouldn't be pulling to the back of a parking lot when someone turns their lights on.
No, we understand that, but we was coming here anyway. So it's like, instead of holding up traffic and stopping, we just pull right here.
Okay. You should still stop right away. All right? And you're not getting out of the car right now to deliver that. Okay? You got an ID on you? You have a Wisconsin license or no?
No.
You live in Arkansas?
No, that's where I live. Well, yeah, no, but like I'm visiting here now.
You're visiting right now? Okay.
But he lived here before.
You don't have a Wisconsin ID?
It's old.
Okay. I stopped because you're going 49 and a 30. Just so you know. Okay, you're going 19 over. Alright, is this your vehicle? Whose vehicle is this? Your big sister's? Okay. Is this your current address, Little Rock? Do you have an address up here? Nothing?
Give him to the address.
How long are you staying up here?
I was supposed to leave. Cause I go to college. So I was supposed to leave by the end of this month.
Okay, so you're just here for the summer or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's from here, though.
Are you two from here?
Yes.
Okay. What's your phone number, man? You guys have IDs on you?
Yeah, I do. It's in my book bag.
Where is it?
My book bag.
Where's that?
Right here next to me.
You can grab it.
Oh.
You got ID, man?
Yeah, hey, she said, why you need an ID if it's a traffic stop?
I'm just asking.
He just asked. He was just asking.
So you don't need to see it? Alright, so you don't need to see it?
I'm asking for it.
You asking for it?
Yes.
But I don't have to show it?
As the passenger, you don't have to give it to me, but I'm asking you for it.
Oh, that's cool then.
Okay. Do you have anything here you shouldn't have?
No, sir. He just,
Okay. Because it smells like marijuana. Yeah. You don't have any? Because it smells like it. You sure don't want to tell me right now?
We don't. It's an ashtray, but I don't think it's on the finger.
Okay.
Okay, what has this officer not done? Generally, according to the Supreme Court, the police have a reasonable amount of time to do the ordinary things that they do for a traffic stop, to issue a citation, to give a ticket, whatever, to hold the person, to detain the person there. They're not allowed to go on fishing expeditions. And what's happening here? The reason for the traffic stop was speeding. The driver gives his ID, he cooperates with everything he's ordered to do, and instead of doing what the officer's supposed to do, he is going on a fishing expedition. He doesn't go and run the guy's license. He starts asking him questions about the license, like it's any of the officer's business where the guy's staying, for how long he's staying. If he has a driver's license in another state, he is allowed to drive in Wisconsin. It's none of his business. Yet this guy's answering his questions. At one point, the officer asks for the passenger's windows to be rolled down. There is authority for that if there's dark tint on the windows, that the officer can ask for the rest of the windows to be down so that he can see for officer safety concerns inside. But what I think really is happening here is, again, he's on a fishing expedition and he wants to smell that marijuana. Maybe he thinks he's going to smell in that car, which is absurd that we're still allowing law enforcement to do this, to search people's cars over the alleged smell of marijuana now in 2023.
Let me see.
It's like nothing like using.
Okay.
Smokable.
3.
That's probably what it is.
This is your sister's car?
Yeah, this is it.
Okay. You know if anyone smoked in it recently?
No, that wouldn't.
Yeah, she said she did probably before we used it. That's probably why.
Is that sister on the phone?
Yes.
Okay. Tell her it smells like weed in here, and you guys are driving it.
She said so.
Okay. All right, why don't you step out for me?
Me?
Yep. Why don't all 3 of you come out?
You gonna search the car?
Leave the phone in there, sir. Step out, leave the phone. Keep your hand out of your pockets.
I'll put my phone in my pocket.
Hey, what's his name?
TJ, listen. He said leave the
TJ.
phone. Why you got my phone?
Leave the phone in there.
TJ, stop, bro.
Why can't he have his phone?
Leave the phone
Why
in there.
can't he have his phone?
Because I'm telling you, you can't right now.
Is that
We're
a law?
investigating something.
Is that a
okay?
law?
Put your phone in there right now. Put your phone in there.
Bro, we don't put
Put your phone in there, because I'm going to search the car for marijuana.
Okay, well,
We're investigating something you're not allowed on the phone.
TJ, you making this?
Put it in there. I'm not going to ask you again.
Police, it's a lawful order.
So it's a lawful order that we can't have our
FaceTime.
Put it in there.
That shit sound dumb.
Put it in there.
Sir,
Put your
he's
phone in
asking you to
there.
put the phone down.
I don't care, my nigga. Get
Sir.
it off.
I'm not going to ask you again. I'm not going to ask you
I'm gonna
again.
ask you, I'll FaceTime.
Pulse 211-110-80.
Like, sis, hey, can't we record? Ain't that our right to record, my nigga? Hey, ain't that our right to record?
Step in front of the car. Step in front of the car. Stay right here. Stay right here.
Okay, my nigga, I'm not moving.
Stop resisting. All right?
I'm turning
You
around.
are. I'm telling you to face the car.
So just for reference, no crime has been committed other than speeding. This guy's just trying to DoorDash, and this cop is harassing him via this fishing expedition that he's on. So he orders him out of the car. That is something that generally police officers can do for officer safety reasons, even though he admits on video here that he's doing it for pursuant to his marijuana investigation. But where does he really screw up here? Well, one of the passengers gets out of the car, and it looks like he's trying to video record what's happening on his cell phone. Then the officer tells him, no, you have to throw that phone back inside the car because we're going to search it for marijuana. Can he do that? No, absolutely not. Really what he's doing is violating this guy's First Amendment rights to try to stop him from videoing what's happening. Him allegedly smelling marijuana. That is the flimsiest of flimsy of tyrannical behavior by a police officer, and it's absolutely shameful.
You have anything on you that's going to poke me?
No, man.
You know what makes overly dramatic slow motion walks even cooler? Epic music played through the Macintosh Entertainment System in the Grand Wagoneer. A little more, a little more. There you go.
Responding to emails takes time, but not with Grammarly. In a few clicks, Grammarly's generative AI drafts professional, relevant replies that sound like you. Download it for free at Grammarly.com.
You're under arrest for obstruction, just so you know. Okay?
Bro, what?
Obstruction.
Obstruction.
Right? Back of the car.
You want to tweak on me for what? Okay, but they tweaking me because I...
Relax. Yes, I will talk to you. Just watch the guy in the car.
We don't gotta talk to nobody else.
Come here.
Why is he getting arrested?
Why is there so many people here? It's just three of us.
Come here.
What's going on?
We good. We don't gotta talk to none of them. We talking to him who pulled us
I'm
out.
Tina.
Put this
Now
down
look.
for a minute. We
Hold
will
on, hold on.
talk to you.
No, look, we don't gotta put
Put
it
it
down.
down.
Wait,
We
no,
don't gotta
wait,
put
but
it
it
can
down.
you answer
We don't
like,
gotta put it down. Look.
wait, just let him
Now,
talk.
why is he being arrested?
Do you want me to explain to you
Yeah,
what's
why is
going
he-
on? Put your phone down. I'm not talking to
I
her. I'm
don't-
talking to you.
I
I'm talking to
don't.
you.
I don't have to put my phone down. I'm
Put your
talking to
phone
you.
down.
I'm talking to you. I'm not talking on the
You
phone.
really want to do
You
this?
just sit it up.
I'm
You
talking
do
to
the
you.
same thing.
Bro, I don't give a fuck. Hold on. I
Don't waste my-
don't. It's not a law that I have to put my phone down. You talking to me, start talking to me. You're not arresting me. You're not doing shit.
Tina, I'm gonna sit the phone up.
The shorter the truth. Hold
Come to
on.
the side, hang on, I'm over there.
Whoa.
Come with me. I will talk to
We
you.
good.
Come with me.
Just
I will
now.
talk to him.
Hold on,
Take
hold
him
on.
to the side, hang on, I'm over there.
Whoa.
Come with me. I
Where
will
I'm
talk to
going?
you.
We good.
Come with me now.
I have no idea what's going on.
What is happening here?
I'm asking like, why is there so many people when it's just three of us?
I don't
We just
know.
trying to deliver DoorDash.
I'm late. What's going on?
We just delivering DoorDash, and he was like, "Why we trying to? I'm trying to show y'all where we was right there." He was like, "Why you trying to dip off of me?" I'm like, "This is where the order is at." And I showed him the phone, and he was like, "The reason why I'm pulling you over because you was doing 49 or 30 something." I wasn't even going that fast, to be honest. I didn't feel like I was going 49. I literally just. That's why I turned into here. Like I just turned in, and was trying to deliver the food, and then.
Do you have your driver's license with you?
No, I have
This
my.
officer's going to take your name from you then. I have.
You seen my ID already?
You got it already?
Yeah, what is going on here? Why are you harassing this guy who is just trying to earn a living here? And look at the two female police officers, like they're standing at the ready to grab a hold of those tasers.
He's got your ID already?
He's seen everything.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just trying to deliver the food.
Another reason why there's so many of us is because some of us are training.
We should be good.
There's a lot of.
I'm like, there's still people pulling up. It's like 1, 2, 3. It's like 6 of y'all.
I just told him to leave.
We're just trying to get them their food. I don't even know what house it is anymore.
All right. Well, we'll get it figured out here.
You come back and just stand over here for me.
Good.
Come with me.
Just
talk to you.
okay, talk
Who's
to
on
me.
the phone with you?
I don't have to tell you that.
Why are you being like this?
Because it's my right.
You're making this.
You think you better than me because you a police officer?
No.
You came over here and you arrested him for having his phone. You
No,
see how dumb that
that's
shit sound? Why is it? Why is he in the back of your car?
You guys over.
Why is he in the back of your car? That's what I'm
asking. Do you want
asking.
me to explain or no?
Answer my
You're just
question.
talking over
Answer
me.
my question.
I'm trying to
Answer
talk
my
to you.
question.
I pulled you guys over.
Answer my question.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not talking to you about this.
Now he don't want to talk to. He don't want to say why the fuck.
Just stay here.
Exactly. Exactly. That shit. They think they dealing with somebody who's stupid.
Just stay over here.
Is it your car or somebody else's? Big sister's car? How long you been in Wisconsin if you got the Arkansas? Is it Arkansas, right?
Let's talk about shit.
How long you been in Wisconsin?
Summer?
What's that?
Summer?
Just for the summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's him. He's sitting there looking stupid. He don't know what the fuck to say. Him right there walking away. Exactly. Well, I don't get it. Like, you took the phone from him. He ain't taking the phone from me. He said he was instructing because he tried to take his phone out of his hand. That's cool, but I'm letting you know. Hello? Okay. You, who put us over, what you doing?
He's talking to the boss. He'll be over in a minute.
He talking to the boss. He'll be over here in a second. Somebody else. Hey, just come grab the phone.
All right.
Come grab the phone.
No, stay here. Stay here. Stay here.
Just throw it. They don't want me to move. Just throw it. That's what I'm telling you. Can you just throw the phone, man? Because I'm not finna fight with no police officer.
Excuse me.
Bro, if you just throw the phone, I'm not finna fight with no police officer. Just throw the phone.
Just stay here.
I don't got time for this shit, bro. Just throw it. I'm not. You so happy. Just throw the phone.
She right here. You don't have to
I don't got
touch
time to play
it.
these
Pass it.
games,
You don't have to touch it.
Just gonna make y'all just trying to make it take longer than what it got to be. He's not talking about shit, honestly. We not talking about shit. I'm trying to go. They like making this take longer than what it got to be. I'm just trying to deliver this order so we go. Oh, he was asking this. That's what I keep asking. Like, we not doing nothing but delivering food.
Stay here with
Come back and
I
stand
am.
in front
I'm
of
not.
the
right here.
team.
Excuse me.
That's
Excuse
where
me.
it's
Excuse me.
supposed to
Excuse me.
stand.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Seriously, what is going on here? There's like 8 or 10 police cars and 8 or 10 cops there for 3 teenagers that were literally trying to work, delivering some wings to somebody, and now they're clearly getting cold. Again, still no crime has been committed, and they're just holding these guys and holding them for what? Pending this serious investigation for the smell of marijuana. I mean, can you see why people get upset at the police? Why people don't trust the police?
See how they all in my face like I just did something to them? They all just staring at me dead in my face.
Alright. You got enough to just try to leave these guys and we're like this and get out of here?
That you'd have to speak to him. He's working on it right there. I think one of them, but not both of them at this point.
Okay.
So let me see what he says.
You want to talk to him? We got enough to just 1080 these guys and get the heck out of here? Or is it all in that bag? There's no weed, it's just scales and barrels. The scales got shake on or anything? Doesn't look like it.
You give a name?
No, he's refusing to identify himself, but he was shouting at you saying you need to search my bag.
Hey, is that guy the driver?
Carville.
That's in custody?
No. He was a passenger.
He's failing to identify.
Yeah, I know. So, I don't know, I don't see any kind of
Where's the
shake or
scales?
anything. You want to just look at it right there? Sounds good.
It's, you know it's mine. You know it's mine. You know it's mine. It's my bag. You know it's mine.
This wasn't in the bag.
It's cool though. It's mine.
You're claiming that?
No, I'm saying it's mine.
Huh?
Exactly. That's how dumb you sound. What is dumb ass? He looking at me dumb as hell.
Is this yours?
Yes. How many times I gotta tell you, bro?
Okay. Fine.
It's the damn police officer. Fucking officer JTB.
Wait, that could have been hers. That could have been hers. No, wait, that could have been hers.
Bro.
Trey.
Yeah. Hold on. They touched me. Come grab my stuff. Here, bro. Can you grab
stuff stays here.
Here. AJ! Bro, grab my phone!
Alright, let's keep everybody's stuff straight.
That's it. That's them his keys. That's mine.
They're obviously locked.
Alright, stay over here.
Dude, I was taking pictures. I had nothing to do with it.
He told him to grab his phone.
I didn't see. I was taking a picture.
My man just said, grab my phone. He fucking got his phone. They both grabbed it. They tweaking my nigga. My cameras on these cars, right?
What's it? We got body cameras too.
Okay.
Yep.
Who would you yelling at?
So we got squad cams and we got body cams. So we got everything. Everything will be recorded.
You want to let dispatch know that he's 1080? Oh.
I'm not even doing it.
Take him.
I haven't done nothing this whole time.
Make sure you have control of that elbow.
Here we go with this. I haven't even done it the whole time, bro. I can stand up, bro. Like, why is y'all grabbing me? I didn't do nothing this whole time.
Huh? I know. Walk over here for me, okay?
Oh my God, bro. I swear to God, my soul. I didn't do nothing this whole time. Like, why is he on it, bro?
Right here.
Give me your keys, man. Why you have me on the ground like today, boss? What I do?
You're under arrest for obstructing.
What did I do?
I just told you what you did.
But like, how am I expressing it? I've been sitting there the whole time.
Bags, we gotta keep everybody's shit straight.
Oh my God. You gotta log on to your other thing.
Alright, so this is all.
These are the two.
Get that gentleman's information if he's willing to give it to you.
These are the two phones that were here.
Okay. Alright, so this is all the guy we were doing, right, James?
Go get that.
Wow, all of that for somebody speeding and then the smell of marijuana. Isn't that just an insane waste, abuse of government resources? Even if there was a smell of marijuana, even if they were speeding, could the guys in the car have avoided some of this by acting differently? Possibly. But isn't it evident to you just watching the footage that this officer was going to get them on something other than speeding from the very beginning? And why is that? All he saw was them speeding. Then when he walked up to the car, what did he see that immediately made him want to treat this as something other than speeding? Did he just immediately smelled marijuana? I mean, that is often the lame excuse for racial profiling. It's one of these, you're not from around here, are you, boy, sort of things. You know, where are you from? How long have you been? Who are you staying with? This was a speeding stop. This should have been a speeding citation or a speeding warning. And these kids were actually polite from the beginning. They weren't talking back. They weren't doing anything suspicious. They complied with all the orders, but this guy was still going to treat them like criminals, and that's what they did. All of this over speeding. All of this over absolutely nothing. And did the occupants of the car escalate it through asserting their rights? Yeah, they did. But then that caused the cops to retaliate against them, looking for anything. And best as I can tell from watching that video, they didn't even find marijuana in the car. They found, quote, shake and some scales. And they were going to use that. And they were looking for anything to justify the abuse that and harassment they were engaging in. How many dental plans do we see in this video that are completely unnecessary to the taxpayers of this area in Wisconsin? I mean, go out there and investigate some actual problems, but don't harass people over nothing, especially people who are just trying to earn a living. Look how they are treating people, and the next generation as well. I'm pretty sure those female cops were trainees. And they're learning how to do this serious investigative work. If there was an unconstitutional violation early on in this stop, then everything will be thrown out anyways. I suspect that will happen here because right from the beginning, this police officer was not writing a traffic ticket. And really, this all stemmed from grabbing the passenger's cell phone. And I see no constitutional justification for seizing that cell phone. I mean, they can control the passenger at a traffic stop. They can tell him where to sit, where to stand. They can't necessarily just search him. They can't necessarily just put him in handcuffs for no reason. They can't just necessarily take his phone. And there really are almost no facts justifying the officer's behavior here. And I think that's why you see the supervisor later on when he shows up saying, look, I didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't see it. I suspect this is one of those things that will sort of go away quietly because this is just a smorgasbord of terrible police work. Please subscribe both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. Remember, my rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it. Harass people over nothing, especially people who are just trying to earn a living. Look how they
Wow. I hope that you're absolutely as freaking outraged as I am. Sorry, I was upstairs watering the cat. Hold on. I'm coming back. Ugh, my back is still loosening up. Should I make funny old man noises when I move? That's kind of funny. That should just grind every single one of our gears to the point of virtual insanity to see three innocent young men going through that type of terror. Well, yeah, and it's a broken institution. Remember, there are no individuals in the cops. Cops are a brotherhood. Cops are a gang in which total allegiance, including covering up the crimes and misdeeds of others, an ironclad code of silence is baked in, as well as they have the qualified immunity to kill or maim or injure or arrest or violate any human being that they want to, and they have qualified immunity to get away with it. All they have to do is think that they were doing the right thing in the moment, and they get away with it. Because cops, all they have to do is think. That's called qualified immunity. Cops think they're doing the right thing, and they're free. So if they kill you and they were wrong, it's like, well, they thought they needed to kill you, so there's no problem with that. It has to be a very, very, very extreme, like a 1 in thousands and thousands chance that a cop is ever criminally prosecuted for a crime against humanity, as they do on such daily bases as daily basis. So that was just awful. That was just awful to watch. But but that could happen to any of us. That is the terror of the global gig economy and the corporate cabal and the fraud, is that you've just got free agents, app slaves, people enslaved by corporate AI all over but they're not employees. They have no rights. They have no identification. They have no training. They have no protections. They have no backup. They have nothing. So they're just out there on the streets. And as our streets further and further turn into a road warrior type situation with terrorist and racist cops and anarcho-fascism and the crime of our streets, is door dashing and rideshare, last mile delivery and rideshare, is that a safe thing to do? Would you want somebody that you love to be out doing this terrible work for slave uh, wages? Not even slave wages, for just slavery? Okay, so let me show you another great installment here of our anarcho fascist state that we're in. So, in case you don't know, uh, BlackRock is also, and the governments are also closing in on the cryptocurrency space. There is no chance that our anarcho-fascist government was ever going to let the people get into an electronic sphere of mediums of exchange in which they didn't have their hands in the pie. They didn't have their hands way, way, way deep in the pie, and their hands are way, way deep in our pie. And so, if you're into cryptocurrency, look, cryptocurrency is another fraud. It's just computing software that's generating mediums of exchange, and then it's filtering our way into society. But there are no rules, there are no regulations. Nobody but the perpetrators are behind it. So who holds most of the cryptocurrency? Oligarchs and wealthy people and institutions. That's why BlackRock is getting into cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency is a tool of the oligarchs too. Cryptocurrency was never ever, one of the biggest lies ever foisted upon the people was that cryptocurrency would be some tool of freedom, some tool of egalitarianism, because it would put people in charge of their money in some way, or it would give them an alternative. No, no, cryptocurrency is just another part of a financial scam in which the global corporate cabal and oligarchs uh, launder their money, launder their labor. That's right. A barter system is freedom. A barter system, or a local medium of exchange that actually has value. The US dollar has no value to us anymore, because all of us together in this app slave community in the United States don't have enough capital between all of us together to do anything. All of our capital together, all of our resources together amount to virtually nothing. And so we have no power, we have no information. So the recent amendment, so BlackRock is getting into basically legislating and managing the system, because BlackRock is your government. For all intents and purposes, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, they're your government regulation, which means you don't have any. You don't have any. It's a fascist global entity that has its fingers in everything, in all the monopolies, and it's a global parasite. Uh, so BlackRock is now getting into this game too. The cryptocurrency scheme is blowing up at the same time. And remember, uh, you know, lots of people were crypto millionaires or crypto billionaires or crypto whatevers. Well, we'll see where those crypto folks are shortly. We'll see where they are shortly. Now, I want to show you something really wild as we get back into the fraud of this space, the unmitigated fraud of this space. Let me find what I am looking for here. I enjoyed all your comments during that video, by the way. It's great to see a group of people that understand civil rights and are not fooled by the illusion of law enforcement. Law enforcement is purely an illusion in the United States. There is no truth or transparency. These are just gangsters out there who are predating. Let's be honest, America's a racist state. Rite Aid's predating upon people of color. and in people in poverty. Cops are predating upon people of color and people in poverty. Gig apps, app slavery, predating upon people of color, people in poverty. The housing market, predating on people of color, people in poverty. The prison industrial complex, people of color, people in poverty. Military industrial complex. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? How can we pretend? How can anyone pretend that America is not a racist, anarcho-fascist state? Part of a racist, anarcho-fascist government. There is no equal protection under the law. If we were going to be free people, if we're free people, we have equal protection under the law. That means that me and Jeff Bezos, Jeff Black, and Jeff Bezos follow the same laws. We don't. We don't. Jeff Bezos is allowed to do anything he wants, including kill people. I'm not. I can't fucking speed. I'm not allowed to go 35 in a 25. Mark Zuckerberg can destroy social fabric of the world and hide it. Jeff Bezos can create the greatest AI-driven monopoly in the history of humanity called Amazon.com, and the guy's looked at as some kind of a pop culture hero. Elon Musk is a fucking drooling apartheid billionaire boy come to America to fucking run his mouth and his money as if he's a king. Elon Musk is a fucking dipshit. Elon Musk is a fucking dipshit, and he's proven through his actions that he's not an intelligent person. There's all kinds of intelligence, right? That's why artificial intelligence isn't intelligence. Spitting out a bunch of bullshit data, spitting out propaganda, spitting out garbage is not intelligence. It might have content, but it's not intelligence. Artificial intelligence is artificial insanity. It has content, but no character. It has content, but no meaning. It's word salad. It's word salad. If Grammarly, we saw that Grammarly commercial, if Grammarly is writing your emails and then somebody goes, hey, Jeff, that email I got from you the other day, this, and this, I really appreciated that. And you go, huh? So what, if Grammarly's writing your emails to other people, do you have to go and read the email that Grammarly sent for you? Or how do you remember it? Or is your email communicating with their email? Look, we're going to get to a point real fast. We're already probably there where nobody's ever going to read emails anymore. Nobody's going to read an email from a spam email from your marketing. You can send it out. Doesn't mean anybody's going to fucking consume it. Their AI is going to read your AI. All right, so back to where we started the morning show at. Last night, the rideshare guy had a show, and it was really something. It was really something. We're going to take a look at it. I tagged Sergio and the rideshare guy and everybody in this show today because we need to look at these folks real hard. There's some real fucking shenanigans going on here with the rideshare guy, and it's bad. It's real fucking bad. So first of all, this payday loan, subprime payday loan dog shit, and the Harry Campbell. What the fuck are we doing here, kids? So in the comments of the show, here's the show chat. So it says from the Harry Campbell up here. Now Harry Campbell doesn't appear on the show. Harry Campbell just owns the show, right? Harry Campbell's the corporate news puke. Harry Campbell says that he was a gig worker after he was a oligarch. So we believe him. We believe Harry was a gig worker after he was an oligarch. Love the open, big fan of Chris and Sergio. Still hard to understand how that can be followed by a paid sponsorship from Loan Shark's Giggle Finance. Perhaps it's just me. That's from Norma's Tits 4179. Well, that's a great screen name, Norma's Tits. And a good point. Now, interestingly enough, what does Sergio? Sergio personally answers back in the chat. We're done with it. Let's chat. So Sergio's saying that the rideshare guy, Harry Campbell, is done with Giggles Finance. So And I replied in the chat, that would be wonderful, Sergio. Everyone I know is disturbed by your association with Giggle Finance. Renounce this terrible scam. Signed me. And so I wrote that. And I asked the question. Nobody has answered. The rideshare guy hasn't answered. Sergio hasn't answered because I assume they don't care what any of us think. They pretend that we don't exist, which is always fascinating. I've been on their show and they pretend like I don't fucking exist. It's interesting. It's fascinating, really. Fascinating because I don't tell the narrative these folks want to tell. They're telling a narrative, and I'm going to show you in a minute from their show yesterday. Man, is this some dog shit. These guys have sold out like nobody's fucking business. Talk about simping and pimping. Talk about your simping and pimping with these fucking guys. All right, so is this dead? Well, how can it be fucking dead? Because they just did a show last night, and at 3:05 they go to their sponsor, Giggle Finance, and here's the actual chat proving to you that all this happened. Now we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this rideshare guy dog shit for a minute, and we're gonna experience what the fuck these guys are doing. Now, Sergio looks like some kind of a fucking prison. Sergio looks like he might be
Purina Cat Chow.
or maybe his family is being held captive or something, and he is a slave of Harry Campbell. I do not know. But Sergio looks miserable as fuck. Okay, there's so much going on this show. I don't watch the rideshare guy with you guys very often because it's just a bunch of corporate bullshit, and I get real sick of the corporate bullshit when they could do so much better. But this is really going to open your eyes here. So let's get on this. What a smooth opening, man. All credit here goes to the rideshare guy for their poverty pimping and payday simping. They should be embarrassed by what I'm going to show here, and I'm sure they will be. I would invite Chris, Sergio, or Harry Campbell. You're all welcome on the show. I'd love to have you speak for yourself. I would love to have you.
Ooh, Sergio, what's going on?
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody?
Ooh, we got a big show for you coming today. Let's just get right into it. We're gonna skip our little intro. We're gonna go right into the rundown so you guys know exactly what to expect. We have a wonderful guest coming on. A very controversial article that came out. Big controversy. We'll get into all that in just a moment. So first, let's talk about what we're gonna be talking about today. And first, we have our guest coming on. Professor Len Sherman, who wrote the article that probably most people already have read or know about. If you don't know it, it is Uber CEO hides driver pay cuts to boost profits is the name of the article. It is in Forbes. Link will be in the description, so if you want to check that out, you can. We're going to bring Len on in just a few moments to talk about this article, break down all the numbers and everything in between. Then after he's done, we're going to be talking about Uber's not shying away from showing drivers how much they will make in a given city during certain hours from the past, but the numbers keep going down. You know, you might see something like you could make $26 an hour.
Okay, so what Chris is talking about here, like Uber is showing some kind of like historical illusion of like, look, what happened in the past? This could happen to you. This is the biggest load of dog shit. Like, how can two adult men actually talk about this like it's real? This is amazing. This is a product of 2023 that these men can talk about this dog shit like it's real. Sergio, why don't you come on the show? I like you a lot, Sergio. Come on the show. You're a smart guy. Look at Sergio's face here. Sergio looks like he's a fucking prisoner. Sergio, are they extorting you, Sergio?
$22 an hour. Well, it seems like it's going down. So we're going to be talking about that. Then we're going to be talking about the whole tip shaving, what happened there. Uber fixed that problem, and those drivers are getting reimbursed.
So Uber shaves wages, but then they fixed it. Okay, so So this was just crime after crime after crime with black box AI, and Chris and Sergio have allegedly not figured out that this can't be fixed. I don't believe them. They know that it can't be fixed. This is Sergio, Chris, stop lying to people. The jig is up, Harry Campbell. The jig is up, Harry Campbell, you lying sack of shit. Why don't you come on the show, you motherfucker? You CEO sucking bitch.
Burst, so we're going to be breaking that down. Also, Uber is offering a new service called Uber Business Comfort. What's going on with that? What that is, a little bit more information. We're also going to be talking about the Uber and Tesla partnership for discounts up to $3,000. But we want to know, is that $1 EV credit going to continue after January 1st of 2024? I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet, and we're only a week and a half away. So we're going to be breaking that down. We're going to do cash or trash, accept or deny the ride. We're going to bring you guys on, 3 people, to see who will accept or deny, and then the winner will receive something good. So be ready for that. Also, we're going to be talking about UberTube, YouTube Uber channel. Interesting. And then some facts and funnies to go along with that. So we got a jam-packed show for you.
Wow, this show sounds like it's sponsored by Uber. Are they just like Uber advertising? Is this show just sponsored by fucking Uber? Holy fucking shit, this stuff's gone to crap. These guys got Uber so far up their fucking ass. You got to be fucking kidding me. Look at these show notes. Look at these show notes. See how much money you can earn driving for Uber in your city with the affiliate link. Did you know the rideshare guy publishes in-depth articles? Become an Uber Eats delivery driver. DoorDash is the #1 delivery app right now. Dashers are regularly making $20 to $25 an hour. Sign up here. What a fucking embarrassment. You are no longer a driver advocate, Sergio. You gave it up, man. You gotta quit, man. I'm calling you out, brother. I'm calling you out, brother. You gotta walk away from this dog shit right now, or you lost all your fucking credibility with me forever. This is fucking ridiculous, you stupid. You guys are just being stupid. I'm gonna try and be fucking nice, but you're really making me angry. Now, remember, Sergio says right here, I'll give you a call. Why does he have to just give this person a call about the scam of why does he Sergio says we're done with it. Let's chat. We're done with it. Well, let's chat, Sergio. What is it, a secret? Is it a fucking secret, Sergio, that you're done scamming people, or are you gonna fucking tell the world? Or is it up to me to fucking tell the world that you're done scamming people, you fucking liar? Come on here, Sergio. Why don't you come defend yourself? You're a man. Be a man. Don't pretend like I don't fucking exist. You fucking read my book. You know what I told you a fucking year ago is all true. And you fucking are a corporate simp and a poverty pimp, fucking selling out the human race. God damn it, you guys fucking suck. Now listen, Sergio, here it says, call me, says Sergio. We're done with it. Let's chat. This was last night. How are you done with it? Let's listen to how Chris is done with it.
And today we'd like to thank today's sponsor, Giggle. So are you a contractor or gig worker seeking fast and hassle-free financing? Look no further than Giggle. We understand that time is money, and that's why we've revolutionized the way you access funds. Picture this, $5,000 in your hands in as quick as 5 minutes. Yes, you heard that right. 5 minutes by simply connecting your bank account. Giggle is here to make sure you focus on what you do best while we take care of your financial needs. Giggle, the fastest way to secure your financial future. For your special offer, visit gigglefinance.com/rideshareguy to apply. Sergio, you getting ready?
Oh, so they're done with it then, except for the fact they just ran a fucking ad for it and have affiliate links for it. What the fuck is going on here? What the fuck are you guys actually selling people, Sergio? What are you actually selling people? I'm so fucking confused right now by what you bastards are doing. And I'm mad. I'm real fucking mad. You know what's the worst thing is when you think people are good people or you think they're your friends and then you see them turning into fascist fucking corporate simps and poverty pimps. It's real disgusting. I'm real disgusted. I'm real disappointed in my friends.
That. So we got a jam-packed show for you.
You go, Chris. Be proud.
And today we'd like to thank today's sponsor, Giggles.
Chris wants to thank. Let's make sure. Chris wants to thank today's sponsor, Giggle. Giggle. Chris wants to thank Giggle Financial, the sponsor. Sergio's real excited about it too, because that's what these guys do for a living. This is what they do for a fucking living, you guys.
So are you?
Oh, Sergio looks like he's going to choke to death on financial fraud. Sergio, are you going to protect us and tell us the truth? Or are you going to fucking lie about this shit, Sergio? Because, you know, silence is a lie. Sitting there on a show run by Harry Campbell while you're silent, while your buddy there is selling out the human race with financial scams that don't even apply. Oh, you know what are the funny, oh, never mind.
Or gig workers seeking fast and hassle-free finance.
Oh, gig workers. Who's seeking fast and hassle-free financing? Oh, me. Oh, me. I'm seeking fast and hassle-free financing, Chris.
Look no further than Giggle.
Look no further than Giggle. Look no further than Giggle, friends. Chris and Sergio say, look, Sergio's got his eyes closed because Sergio doesn't want to look at himself in the mirror anymore. Sergio's so ashamed of himself. Sergio, are you so ashamed of yourself you can't even open your eyes on the air anymore? What the fuck's going on here? What the fuck is going on with America? What kind of fascist fucking anarcho dog shit program is the rideshare guy Harry Campbell running here? Is right Harry Campbell is fucking so invested in Uber he can't fucking see straight.
Understand that time is money, and that
it's the dog shit Uber show. That's why Sergio and Harry Campbell didn't really mind me coming on their show talking about DoorDash. They just wanted to make sure that I left their baby Uber alone. They just left their little baby Uber alone. Like, are you going to be mean to Uber though? And I'm like, well, I don't know. But are you going to be mean to Uber? I'm like, well, I'm really focusing on DoorDash right now. Well, now I'm going to be mean to Uber. Now it's being mean to Uber time, guys. So don't worry. We're going to be mean to Uber now. It's Uber's turn. You guys are fucking Uber simps. Uber simps. Ooh, that's a good one. Uber simps and poverty pimps. I like things that rhyme. Uber simps and poverty pimps. That's what these boys is.
That's why we've revolutionized the way you access funds.
That's why we've revolutionized the way you've accessed funds. So they're really proud. They're proud of this sponsor. This is 3 minutes and 5 seconds into the show featuring Giggle Finance, an offshore dog shit, non-bank, subprime, non-payday loan sharking scam from the Caribbean with an address in Florida. Way to go, fucking Harry Campbell.
Picture this: $5,000 in your hands in as quick as 5 minutes.
$5,000 in as quick as 5 minutes. Well, that's got to be a good deal.
Yes, you heard that right. 5 minutes by simply.
You heard that right. How about Sergio? Will you loan me $5,000 in 5 minutes? Chris, will you loan me How about you loan me the $5,000 and then you take out the payday, non-payday thing with Giggle.
Connecting your bank account. Giggle is here to make sure.
Giggle is here to fucking put you out of your house and home and have full rights to your banking and financial assets as if they're theirs. You have no recourse. And they're not even a bank. They're not in the United States. It's a pure fucking scam that these idiots are selling.
You focus on what you do best.
Look at Sergio's face, man.
While we take care of your
Sergio is not a good poker player.
Financial needs. Giggle.
One thing I appreciate about Sergio is that his eyes don't lie. His mouth may lie, but his eyes don't.
The fastest way to secure your financial future.
Sam, give me a call. I'm a good friend and I got potential. Sam, if you can loan me $5,000, I'll give it back to you. I'll have the book out in a couple weeks and man, if I had $5,000, Sam, I could conquer the fucking world. If you got $5,000 laying around. Somebody wants to give me money so I can get the book published ASAP. Please, by all means, I take donations, just nobody gives them to me. So if anybody wants to actually see the book or, help me do that, I'm here. I ain't gonna fucking be out begging people for money in my own community though.
For your special offer, visit gigglefinance.com.
Visit GIGGLEFinance.com. Visit GIGGLEFinance.com. Chris is selling it. This is the opening part of the show. Giggle, 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 giggle finance. Sergio and Chris putting their weight behind Giggle Finance. Harry Campbell, offshore Caribbean financial scams and fraud. Way to go, rideshare guy. I hope everybody that gets involved with Giggle Finance sues all of these people in court. If you got involved in Giggle Finance or Moves Financial, remember Moves Financial is now dead, you want to consider suing Pedro DoorDash Santos, the rideshare guy, Kim, Zach. You want to consider suing all of these people for misrepresenting financial scams. Please make sure that these people pay the price for the crimes that they're doing. They're not going to go to jail, but they're committing fraud against you right now. So go get them. Go get these fuckers. Maybe Sergio can write an article about the scam of payday loan fraud.
/rideshare guy to apply. Sergio, you getting ready for this?
Sergio looks like he's going to puke at the moment, which I appreciate. It makes me think Sergio's still got a soul in there somehow. And Chris looks real unhappy to say this too. So it's like, I don't hate these guys as people. I just hate what they do.
You bet, buddy. You
All
bet.
right. So we have our special guest.
Okay, now this is going to get real fucking weird. So Len Sherman is a guy who wrote an article about Uber, and now, but he's a college professor who is literally funded and has a relationship with Uber as well, and he gets information from them, so he's beholden to Uber. So now he's on here for an apology tour, and listen to how many these guys talk about the total scam, which is Uber. But listen to how many times this guy simps for Uber and says what an amazing company they are and how great their new CEO is and all the wonderful things they're doing. What a fucking scam, man. These guys are the biggest sellouts on planet Earth right now. Watch this dog shit.
Professor Len Sherman, who is a professor at the Columbia Business School and is
a sellout professor at the Columbia Business School, a sellout professor at the Columbia Business School, not just a professor, but a sellout who is obviously afraid of Uber. Watch this guy. Watch him backtrack.
Here to talk about his controversial Forbes article titled Uber's CEO hides driver.
They took it down. He took the article down. He was so scared.
Pay cuts to boost profits, compiling data from driver pay disguised with upfront fares and boosting what Uber passengers are paying, and boosting what Uber passengers are paying. The article was removed, added Uber's comments, and reposted a few days later. Now Uber puts out an article trying to rebut Professor Len Sherman's claims in their article titled Understanding Uber's Share of Driver Earnings, which we will break down and discuss on next week's Show Me the Money Club. So don't miss that one. But today, let's bring on Professor Len Sherman. And again, if you haven't read the article, link will be in the description below. Professor Len Sherman, how you doing?
Doing all right. How are you doing, Chris?
Good. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, Sergio.
Hey,
it's been a while since I've been on the show, so thanks for inviting me back.
Yeah, you've been, well, that was like in the initial days of Show Me the Money, and then, quite
Has anything happened in between, or have I missed anything?
A few things happened in between. No, we grew the community to a really, really amazing level, really. And then, with their support, we're here. Look, I'm not going to deny it, obviously, but let's, obviously, I have his permission to call him Len. So I've always called him Professor Sherman, but then he goes like, Len, please stop with the professor. I get called professor all day long. So I'm like, okay. So Len, welcome, first of all.
Okay. Look, this is just a bunch of fucking bullshit. We just call him Len. We just call him whatever. Yeah, we're all human beings. We're all human beings. He's Len. He's a professor. He's a fucking sellout for Uber. Did Sergio just say that Uber is their biggest? What did he just say? He just said something about like we're all here for Uber or whatever. I don't know. Let's watch.
Like in the initial days of Show Me the Money, and then
Has anything happened in between, or have I missed anything?
A few things happened in between. No, we grew the community to a really, really amazing level, really. And then, with their support, we're here. Look, I'm not going to deny.
Oh, okay. So they're with the community's support, they're here. They grew the community. It's really a con. They grew their con to a significant level, right? These guys got in at the bottom. They got in at the start of the pyramid scheme. So Harry Campbell is directly invested in all these companies. All these guys are directly paid by their affiliate links and everything else, and their advertising. This is a dog shit salad tossing party right here. Okay.
Right, obviously, but let's obviously, I have his permission to call him Len, so I've always.
What the fuck it? Look, let's stop sucking each other's dicks here. I'm Jeff. He's Len. He's Sergio. He's Chris. Nobody has any fucking entitlements here. We're talking about a global scam. Let's stop pretending like we have some kind of credibility when we're just shills. Let's stop being homey and folksy. Let's stop being relatable like Pedro. Pedro tells us he's relatable. So Sergio and Chris and Len Sherman, are you guys all relatable too? Are you guys all there being relatable? I think Len Sherman's relatable now because I can call him Len. Now I feel like he's fucking relatable. This stuff pisses me off because I just see them manipulating their audience into a coma. Their audience thinks they're on their side. These guys are the biggest bunch of fucking sellouts around. And I'm positive if Sergio Avedian ever quits the rideshare guy, he's going to come out and say what a fucking dog shit, fascist piece of scum Harry Campbell is. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. The day Sergio, if he ever does quit the rideshare guy, he'll come out and say what Harry Campbell really is. Everybody knows.
Always called him Professor Sherman, but then he goes like, Len, please stop. But the professor,
so
I get
fucking
called
humble.
professor all day long.
So fucking
So
humble.
I'm like, okay. So Len.
So they're making him all humble, but now he's going to shill for corporate America and tell you what a great guy, Derek. How do you pronounce Dara's name again? Dara Khosrow Shahi. Dara Khosrow Shahi. Dara Khosrow Shahi. Okay, so these guys fucking love Dara Khosrow Shahi. Dara. Hey, JP. Hey, JP, look at what bunch of fucking sellout poverty pimps and corporate simps these pricks on Show Me the Money Club are. And they pretend they're part of a community. Watch this fucking professor suck the dick of corporate America. Fucking suck off Dara Khosrow Shahi like he's his personal savior. Watch this dog shit.
Len, welcome, first of all. And let's talk a little bit about the article. Okay, I've been around this joint for a while. I don't know how many articles I've written or been part of, but I've never seen an article go so viral ever. Okay, now as like Chris said, it came out on Monday, maybe for less than 24-hour period, and then it was gone. So I got more emails about where did it go than if my dog got lost. I'm like, I don't know what happened. Why are you guys asking me? You can ask the professor. Well,
Right.
we don't know what happened. Give us a little background for a few minutes about, what happened, and then we'll get into the article.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see how kind of all in the absence of information, these conspiracy theories of, oh my God, Forbes spiked the article and Uber, demanded it was put, and none of that was really the case. I made just a bad rookie mistake. I was headed off on vacation. I was desperate trying to get this article out. And as is normal protocol, when you write an article that in journalism, they would say if the article might be construed as critical of the company you're writing about, it would be expected that you would preview it with them and sort of summarize. You don't send them the article, you preview the key findings and then ask if they would care to respond. And of course, if they do, you include that. And if they don't, you say, well, they chose not to. And I sent that article, and to their credit, to the PR executive to whom I sent it, promised she would get back to me, and did. And as I was rushing off to fly off to a Caribbean island on vacation, I just plumb missed it. So to make a long story short,
Man, you see, this shit just happens when you're on your way to a Caribbean vacation and you're a Columbia Business School professor who's in bed with corporate America, and you write an article. You're on your way to your Caribbean vacation. You're going to have a great time sipping the Mai Tais, enjoying the fruits of your corporate fraud that you're all in on. And you write an article that makes you look like an academic, but you piss off your corporate sponsor just a little bit too much, and you didn't check all the boxes. Man, it's just, you got to come on and you got to suck a little corporate wang here. You got to suck it up and be humble and just go, really, they're fucking brilliant. They're fucking brilliant. It's my bad. It's my bad.
short, the article went up saying they chose not to respond. That was not true. They did. And they were justifiably upset. I felt horrible about it. Got back to the Uber executive, apologized profusely. It was just my mistake. And my editor
apologize to anarcho-fascist monsters. We're so sorry, anarcho-fascist monsters. We're so sorry, Dara Khosrowshahi. We're so sorry. We're sorry. Columbia Business School is sorry. Columbia Business School loves you. Columbia University loves you, Uber. Columbia loves you. Columbia loves you. You're a star, Dara Khosrowshahi.
And I agreed that we owed it to ourselves and, more importantly, to Uber to make it.
Wow. When the college professor tells you what he owes to Uber, you should run. He owes to Uber. We owe it to Uber. We owe it to the fraudsters of the world. We owe it to the greatest scam in human history, the gig app corporate cabal. We owe it to them to let them have their say, which is what? More lies? God bless you, Len Sherman, you summer child. You sweet summer child. You sweet summer professor from Columbia. You sweet little Caribbean Mai Tai sucking motherfucker.
Clear that they had responded, and for me in turn to respond to their disagreements with the article. So it was taken down. Everyone was satisfied that that was the right thing to do. I'm the culprit. I made the mistake. And then it went up. And if you have had a chance to see it, you'll see right up top, I sort of claim that this is the situation. I summarize up top that they didn't like some of the conclusions. And there we are. So there was no kind of hidden agendas on any sides. I just made a rookie mistake.
Yeah, well, it's the internet, right? On the internet, everything flies around. Conspiracy theories happen, this happens, that happens. But the key is, article did go back up, right? Obviously, you had full editorial support of Forbes, and article went up.
I try to respond to there was some very legitimate suggestions that were made by Uber, but in particular asking for more detail. And I took the time. It took me a couple of days. I took the time to try to be as clear as I could about what my sources and methods and what simple formulas. I just laid it all out there. You could agree or disagree, but hopefully it's now a lot clearer, how I came to the findings that I did, and we can talk about them as we go through.
Yeah, we will definitely talk about them, and this hit a nerve with the driver community for sure, right?
It did.
I mean, as far as I can tell, to our audience or to the community that we talk to on a weekly basis, this article was not a revelation. Drivers have been saying this, seeing this from all cities, top 20 markets, small, large, medium markets, all over the U.S., right? They go, I'm making less money. I'm making less money. By the way, let's Chris remind them that we're running a poll. Please go vote for the poll. It's going to be open for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to have another poll coming up after that, and we'll announce the results at the end of the show. So let's get right into it, Len. The article is out for the second time, and we read it again, obviously. And then, by the way, how does it feel to go viral? This is you want.
I gotta interrupt. I'm sure there's no academics watching this program. It's not their thing, but
There are a
in
few.
academia, people write these kind of very arcane. I can't understand what the heck they're talking about, and they post them in academic journals that no one but academics read. So they might get 300 hits on a something they've worked for in a year, and I hope your audience is going to find as we go through. I don't talk that way, so we're just going to sort of lay out. This is the way you guys understand the business. This is what I've learned from you, and hopefully we can all agree. But we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start with a simple question. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your definition of a take rate?
It's not my definition. I didn't define, hey, based on some new theory, here's what take rate is. Whenever I approach looking at an industry, I try to understand, how the industry players are thinking about and managing their business, whatever side of the business you're on, whether you're a driver, whether you're Uber or something in between. And so I define take rates by the industry norm, and I'll sort of qualify that. If you sort of think about how the different constituents in this industry think about take rates, you take the driver. It's very simple. You guys have taught me over the years that you define take rate as the spread between the price that the passenger pays without tips and your pay as a driver from all forms of pay from Uber. That could be the base rates and the bonuses and the surges and the boosts and the multi-trip incentives. You take all, and again, hold the tips on the side. And it's the spread between those two. Passenger, what percent of the passenger fare is retained by Uber, and what's left is what goes to the driver. It's just that simple. So that's at the individual driver level. That's how I would suggest any driver on this call probably thinks about it. Makes perfect sense. If you roll that up, every single trip, all the trips a given driver takes in a month, the millions of trips I had access to look at, the billions of trips that Uber, roll up all of the fares, tips on the side, discounts from the fare on excluded. That becomes something called gross bookings. It's the gross bookings, they say, just rolled up all the fares. That's what it is. And then you take out from that all of the pay that Uber pays to its drivers. What's left is revenue. And it's just that simple. So from a corporate perspective, the take rate is just the ratio between the company's revenue to its total bookings. The rest goes to the driver. And then two last points. And I want to really reinforce this because there's nothing mysterious about this. Everyone that I'm aware of, except Uber, has used this definition. So if you take Lyft in their most recent earnings report, they came out for the first time in a long time and gave, in essence, their take rate. And they defined their bookings as follows, and I quote, Lyft defines gross bookings as the total dollar value of transactions invoiced to rideshare riders, including all applicable taxes, all tolls, all fees, and excluding tips to drivers. And none of these carve-outs about all the things that Uber has been recently talking about. It's all the money that rolled in, holding tips on the side. Revenue is then the gross bookings minus driver pay. And then the final word I'll say in this is the way Uber has defined it for years. You go back for years and look at quarterly earnings reports, and it's very simple. Quote from Uber's latest earnings report and the ones before that. Quote, we define take rate as a revenue as a percentage of gross bookings, full stop.
Yep. Pretty simple, right?
So I didn't invent anything. I just said that's
you know what? I've been in quarrels with our community quite a while about this take rate issue, and I think this will settle it. And everybody's entitled to think what they do, obviously, what they think of take rates. To me, as a rideshare driver, what Uber makes is really not that much of my concern because I'm trying to be profitable for my own business to start with. However, there are a lot of people who are ticked off because their costs are going up as well. Like over the last 3, 4, or 5 years, maintenance costs, car costs, everything has gone up. So they go like, well, I'm providing all the service. I'm providing the tools for the service. How come Uber is taking so much of the fare? So going forward, I think this will clarify for me as much as the community is this. We have 3 points of contact here: what the passenger paid, what the driver received out of that pay directly, and what Uber kept. That's what it is. Simple as that. ABC. And I think Lyft may have opened the door for both companies now to do the same thing, as opposed to Uber saying, well, you know, our commercial rates have gone up so much that we have to back that out, and we have to pass through this, pass through that. I think, look, this is simple math. We as drivers, we're simple people, mostly. We think of math as simple. 1 + 1 is 2. That's it. So if a passenger paid $50 and I made 25, Uber kept 25, that's 50%. That's the take rate. Do you agree? Should we do this? That's the way to do it?
Yes. I mean, that's and I believe that it's not just you and me. It's just generally everyone that I'm aware of except Uber. Now, in Uber's defense, they are a very global company, and there are different types of costs and fees and issues that they have to deal with, and different revenue recognition. And I think in their blog, which I only skimmed, I didn't have time to read it carefully today, you know, they point out that, well, different markets are different, but, you know, let's be very clear on this conversation we're having today, and in the article I wrote last week, I'm only talking about the United States. What happens in the UK or 73 other countries, I'll get to that maybe. Never.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, look, we
We're
don't know what happened.
about the U.S. and its situation. Uber is free to, you can define take rates any way you want, but please, when one of your important constituencies like drivers say this is the way we think about take rates, don't say, you know, you're wrong and the right way is our way, and our way is we have much lower take rate. Try to communicate in the same terms that your audience has thought about this business from the beginning, and I think everyone would be better off for it.
I agree. So, Chris, let's go to the, you know, you had some wonderful graphs in your article, and then there were, like, you know, I always say, hey, pictures are worth 1,000 words. And to me, you know, they're pretty self-explanatory to me. I mean, I'm like,
right.
I don't think it takes a genius to figure it out. So let's put the first one up, and then let's see. No, not that one.
Not that one.
Not that one. Yeah, that one right there.
That would work. That would work.
So, you know, these are pretty self-explanatory, but let's spend a couple of minutes on each, and
sure.
You know, explain us what the graph on the left is and what the graph on the right is.
Well, just a little backstory. It's kind of interesting. I teach, as often is the case in business schools, with a case study method, and every week there's a different company profile: Domino's Pizza, Uber, whatever. And I can tell you, over the years, and I've been doing an Uber case since 2016, without even a close second, Uber is by far the most popular case study, because it's just a fascinating company. I mean, any way you look, and I'll get to this chart in 1 second, but just the key background is, any way you look at Uber, it's been, you know, probably the most fascinating company in certainly the lifetime of my students, and if not my lifetime as well. Why? Okay, so they are, to my knowledge, the fastest growing startup in history. They went $0 to $10 billion in revenue faster than anyone, faster than Amazon. Just extraordinary. They have arguably the best consumer value proposition of any startup that's ever, you know, hit the market. They have raised and lost more money than any startup in history. And recently, under the leadership of Dara Khosrowshahi, engineered an amazing turnaround. I mean, going from a period where most folks, myself included, had doubts whether they could ever be profitable, and you know, here we are. They're throwing off billions of dollars of free cash flow. So, you know, it raises two questions: why has it been so hard to make money, and what the heck happened? How did Dara pull the rabbit out of the hat? So those are the two questions that I think these charts are going to answer, and why my students have found it so fascinating. I also have guest speakers in my class. My guest speaker this year was Emil Michael.
Oh, ex-Uber.
You old timers, you may remember Emil was the #2 guy under Travis. He was the head of business development. Yeah. He launched and ran the China operations as long as that lasted, and the like. And what he shared with me, so looking at the left-hand side of this chart, is this is showing the average Uber US price per trip, the price that the passenger pays per trip. And it's indexed. We started with the average price in 2015 and then kind of took it down to the time Dara came in the late summer of 2017. And as you can see, Uber had a concerted policy to continue to lower prices. They were already losing a ton of money, and they kept lowering their price. Why? Because they wanted to achieve that explosive growth that I referred to. And what Emil shared with the class was we felt the most effective marketing expense we could have is to essentially subsidize trips, and it would pour in, way more customers than anything else we could do. And, in fact, that was the case. So the problem with that is at the time, over those years, both the drivers and the passengers were keyed to a kind of rate card. And so when you drop the rate card on what passengers pay, you're also dropping what the dealers were paid. And that led to that big argument that Travis had and got him in trouble. The video went viral. And, the problem is consumers loved it, but drivers hated it. Okay, enter Dara, comes in 2017, and his marching orders are right off the top: get this company public as soon as possible, lock in some big returns for the early investors, go for it. And to do so, he had to overcome three huge problems. One, a toxic, demoralized culture he inherited. Two, just tremendous burn rate at the time, in part because of these dropping fares. And three, growing driver unrest, as they were now getting concerned about the concerns in their pay. So when he came in, probably the first thing he did is really set a great tone to fix and repair the culture. And he came in with a signature promise: I will do the right thing, period. Boom. And I give the man tremendous credit for what he did, then and right until now, to really improve the way the company felt about itself. And he's a very popular CEO, and should be. So great credit there. He also made some great progress on reducing their burn rate. But I would argue that he's actually made a kind of some level of driver unrest a lot worse over time. And that's what's going to be the essence of this conversation. So one thing he did right off the bat is he began, for the first time in Uber's history, raising prices. And you can see the arrow from where he came in on the left-hand chart. The average price zoomed up at a much faster rate than the overall CPI in the US. And that was to make up for the price cuts that were so ruinous to the economics of the company earlier. And then if you kind of fast forward to what happened, a year after they IPO'd, or less than a year after they IPO'd, the company was hit by a pandemic, their rideshare demand craters. And I kind of looked at the price movement since then, sort of rebasing it to April of 2020 and going forward. And you can see it gave the company cover to continue to raise prices very, very rapidly, way outstripping the CPI. And it's pretty much all of that increase peaked in about 2021, and it's kind of stayed at that level. So number one repair item is get the prices back to what the market would bear, and it made a lot of sense, and it helped the company immensely.
Right. So that's half the equation, right? So, I mean, as a driver, I know this for a fact that I was making great money until the company went IPO. And because during the growth phase of the company, they were just showing the money to everybody because they needed drivers, they needed growth, they needed passengers. They had the VC money to burn, like, drunken sailors. And everybody was happy, right? And drivers were happy, passengers were happy. The only people that were not happy probably were the VCs. But then the company goes public. My earnings obviously immediately took a dip as a driver because of now there was no more free money. This is a public company with, VCs are taking their money out, and now they have to make money, actual money, profits. The mother's milk of every corporation is actual profits. And sure enough, the only way you can do that in a two-sided marketplace, as we all know, okay, this is not complicated. This is not rocket science, Uber. In a two-sided marketplace, you have to charge as much as you can and pay as little as you can. And the spread between keeps growing, and At their scale of 2.5 billion trips now per quarter, they turned profit last 2 quarters in a row, and all power to them. They did it. So the fares, these first 2 charts say how much the fares have gone up, and you use YPIT data for this source, correct? What was the percentage?
I'm sorry, what was the what?
What was the percentage increase in fares since 2018?
The one I remember is since 2020, when I rebased it, was
Right.
about 40%, and
40%.
it's probably from the low base of when Dara came in through 2020, probably another 20%.
Yeah, so call it maybe 50, 55. I subscribe to YPIT, and it's about 53,
Yeah.
55%.
I mean,
But
just so you know, there was a kind of a minor change in that before the pandemic, there actually was a kind of viable Uber pool business in operation. And if you take what I've done in all of this analysis of their average price level, is the prices you're seeing shown here represent an overall average of all of the different services: Uber Comfort, Uber X, Uber Pool, Uber whatever. And so in the early years before the pandemic, a noticeable chunk of that was Uber Pool, which tends to lower the average because pool prices were lower. Pool's over. The pandemic killed it, never came back. So I rebased it afterwards, starting with the pandemic, to say, well, now that's out, and we'll just watch what everything else does from there. So that's what we're.
So let's go to, now let's go to the other side of the coin. I mean, this is the passenger side. Passenger side, the fares went up for 50, 55% on average.
Yeah.
Which they had to do, which is fine. Now let's go to the driver's side.
Okay. You're going to flip that? Yeah. I mean, so just to remind you, there was a kind of a little change. It was a big change, but it didn't initially get as much attention as it should. In 2016, Uber introduced upfront pricing for passenger fares.
Yes.
And this kind of decoupled what had been this complete locked-in relationship that both passengers and drivers used to get their prices and fares set by a rate card per mile per minute.
Yes.
And starting in 2016, Uber changed its policy so that it just charged passengers a fare. It wasn't pegged to a specific rate card.
Yep.
At the same time, they kept the drivers on a rate card per mile per minute. Now, there are other forms of compensation, as everyone on this call knows. There is, surges and boosts and quests and all kinds of stuff. But the key here is that the one thing Dara did is he continued the prior policy of dropping the rate card rates pretty precipitously.
Yep.
And this is important because even at the kind of lower levels of per mile and per minute rates, at least a rate card gave you the comfort or assurance that you will never get paid less than X. If the trip was 25 minutes and 17 miles, you're not going to get paid less than what's implied by this. And hopefully, if you're smart enough, we'll figure out which trips offer the best boosts and surges and all that stuff, and you can supplement your income. And I would assume drivers on this call can well remember the good old days when 30% or more of their total pay came from bonuses over and above the base rate. But in any event, through it all, the base rate kept going down under both CEOs all the way through most of 2022 as shown here. And at the same time, what you see on the right-hand side for a whole variety of cost elements that represent the cost of ownership and operation that the drivers have to absorb and pay for, maintenance and fuel and the cost of buying a newer used car, etc. And insurance rates were climbing, particularly in the later years, by an enormous amount. So that's a bad combination when your base rates are going down, the guaranteed amounts are going down, and your costs are going up. Led to a lot of driver unrest, as you all well know.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to every one of their conference calls, obviously, and we know as drivers what's happening to our costs, right? From maintenance costs, used car parts. Obviously, a full-time driver drives 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 miles a month. Frequent oil changes. We know, plus gas prices, obviously, specifically in the West Coast, right? We know what's going on there. the costs are not stable on the driver's side. Obviously, we endure inflation as anybody else does in this country, and our rents have gone up. Everything else commensurate, obviously, except our pay. To me, it seems like, because if you look at the chart on the left, people, that's a rate card. Where is it from? From LA, right? Okay. And if you
I
guys
had
been
other
around
cities.
for a
I
while,
just chose LA. I had lots of other cities, and they all look pretty
yeah.
similar, so I just picked one.
Yeah, I mean, California is the largest Uber market, so he picked LA, and those are the rates, right? Before upfront fares, towards the middle or third quarter of 2023, the rate card that I know of for my rate card was 60 cents a mile, 21 cents a minute. Now, had to be profitable at that level, obviously have incentives and such, but I listened to every one of the Uber conference calls, and one other thing that caught my eye, Len, on the last one was that Dara was talking quite happily about that. A lot more people are driving, which is true. They went from 5 million to 6.5 million drivers globally, year over year, and that they're staying on the platform longer and driving longer because everything is so great. I disagree. So the reason we're driving so much more is because of the rate card right here, because math does not lie. If I was getting $1.20 a mile and 35 cents a minute, and my rates get cut in half, I have to drive twice as much to make the same amount of money because the incentive disappeared anyway. So let's skip to the next one, Chris. All right, so this is the one that created the whole controversy as far as I'm concerned, Lynn.
Yeah.
And, look, you did your studies, you had your data, you analyzed your data. Uber may say, wait, that's not enough sample size. They didn't factor this in. They didn't factor that in. If your data has all the pass-throughs in there, hey, you know what, Uber, keep it simple then. No need. Do what Lyft is doing. So this is the one that created a lot of the controversy, that your little parabolic red line going towards the sky. So let's talk a little bit about this. What's up with this?
What's up with this? Well, we missed a little nif-gnawing detail in between the last chart and this, and that is that there was a what Dara Khosrowshahi rightfully called a seismic shift that occurred in 2022. And that was the fact that the U.S. Federal Reserve began reversing what had been a zero interest policy, or rate policy, ZIRP as it's often called in the industry.
Yep.
And the big thinkers on Wall Street really lost patience with what had been high growth but money losing companies, and that fit the bill to Uber. Almost, you could say they were the paragon of that, having lost more money than any company ever, but growing like a weed the whole time. So Dara issued a well-crafted memo, and I think he really, hit the nail on the head, and to all of his employees, and said, look, we just got to put a lot more focus on profitability than we ever had before, and prove that we can make our unit economics work before we go big. I think it was the phrase he used. And coincidentally or not, I wasn't in the room where it happened, but coincident with just about that time, Uber began piloting and then rolling out a new driver pay policy, as has often been called upfront fares plus destination. And this now extended what they already had done on the passenger side, decoupling the setting of passenger fares strictly based on a rate card of miles and minutes, now extended over on the driver pay side. So we're no longer going to have a rate card. The whole meaning of what base pay is now meaningless. It basically says there's a whole variety of factors. We're using some very sophisticated AI algorithms, using a lot of factors that are undefined that go into the fact that when a driver now, since that time, has gotten a price offer, do you want to take this trip or not? You're an independent contractor, your call. It's a number. There it is. Take it or leave it. And it includes any and all boosts and bonuses. Big number, easy to see. There were some great things about the new policy. It was a lot simpler to kind of do the math in your head, at least to see what the total number would be. You were given the destination address for the first time. You were given an estimate of the time to do the trip, both to the pickup point and then to deliver the passenger to the end point. All of those were very, very helpful and appreciated by drivers. Yep. However, it now gave Uber tremendous discretionary control over setting driver pay. And the other kind of important feature is that if a driver was given an offer and for whatever reason, driver deemed it was an unattractive pay offer or didn't like the destination and rejected it, the trip offer could go into this trip radar function where multiple drivers are now bidding against each other. Who's the first one to accept what could be a pretty unattractive offer to many drivers, if not, So it really got to the point of saying, why should I pay what I would have paid off a minimum rate card if I can find a driver who's willing to take something lower with just this upfront price that I throw out? Right. He's willing to take it. Free choice. I'm putting it out there. So it gave them the opportunity to lower their overall pricing. And now we have this tremendous discretion on both sides of what price I charge an individual passenger, what I pay an individual driver, and in essence, you can maximize your take or your margin on every single trip, because every trip's kind of a new ball game, and you have the control over both sides. So that's what's reflected here. And what I did is use two data sources to generate this chart. The driver pay data came from a company called Gridwise that offers drivers a range of financial support and planning tools if the driver agrees to share their login credentials with all the gig companies with whom they work. And in return, Gridwise can assemble all of this data and analyze it, give information back to the driver, but also have this aggregate database that they could sell to outsiders or provide to outsiders like myself. And they generally collect about 2 million trip observations per quarter for Uber drivers. And what I asked them to do was give me the average price per trip, also price per mile and price per hour, but I focused mostly in what you see here on the Uber price per trip. And this represents the total pay during a given quarter to all of their 2 million drivers in that quarter, including all base pay, whatever that means anymore, all bonuses, all incentives, and excluding tips. And I just sort of took those average points for each quarter. And then on the top line, the green line, that's the blue, I was just describing the blue line. The green line is from another data services company called Yipit. And they have a kind of an email panel where they have tens and tens of thousands of passengers who are willing to share their transaction, credit card price transaction history, not just for Uber, but for all kinds of products and services. And Yipit assembles about a 500,000 Uber trip records per quarter, so millions over the course of the period you see here. And this again is exactly what I wanted to get access to define take rates as we've already discussed. It is the total price net of any discounts. If the price involved the discount, get that out and take tips out. It's just what did Uber pay the driver all in for a given trip, and what's the average across these 500,000 per quarter trips. Right. And so what you see happening here is that kind of vertical line right going down the spine, the center of this chart, is about the time when the upfront fare plus destination was pretty much rolled out nationally throughout the US. And from that point forward, pricing didn't change that much. Most of the price increases I showed earlier kicked in by 2021, and they pretty much kind of stayed level between 21, 22 bucks per ride on average since then. Right. But you see a much different pattern on the driver pay side, that it was actually increasing a bit. And then starting this calendar year, quarter 1, 2, 3, down it came in a very noticeable fashion. And by my estimate, year on year, if you take the average driver pay from all forms per trip, Q3 2023, the most recent quarter Uber reported, and compare it to the year ago, third quarter of the prior year, the average price per trip declined by about 12%, 11.9 to be exact.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you know, the blog post that they put up actually has an interesting graph in it that we're not going to put up this week, but we'll talk about it next week. It clearly shows that average earnings, because Uber talks with active time or utilized time or book time hours. It's been coming down for 9 quarters in a row. You know, the active per hour is down to 32 now. Was 39, and I mean they put up the graph themselves. So you know, there's no secret. Driver pay, even with their matrix, is coming down. However, so you know, this, I understand where Uber can disagree with what they're saying. However, I put up one more chart. I don't know if it's in this segment, Chris, or you know, the stock chart that we had that I had put up. Is that in this segment? Yeah. All right. So everybody, I need you to pay attention, real quick attention to this. Okay. This is a stock chart of Uber going back 5 years, actually, to their IPO. You know, as you guys can see, stock fluctuated between 40 and 20. During the pandemic, it crashed to 20. Then during the pandemic, actually, it went all the way to 60. And then it kind of, you know, waterfall effect all the way down back to 20 again, towards right about the middle of 2022. You know, look, to me, pictures are, again, worth 1,000 words. The bottom of the stock, it happens to coincide with the national rollout or upfront fares. And ironically, Professor, your chart, the take rate chart, is looking exactly like the stock price. The higher the take rate goes, the higher the stock is going. And personally speaking, this is my personal opinion only, so nobody get offended at Uber about this, is that the bottom of the Uber price, Uber stock price, coinciding with the release of upfront fares is not a coincidence for me. I think it had everything to do with it. And the fact that it continues, you know, all-time highs at 62 now, at $125 billion market cap company, had everything to do with Uber releasing upfront fares. Because like the professor correctly stated, it completely, totally decoupled what the passenger paid from what the driver received. And, you know, they should take a victory lap, to be honest with you, but on whose back? On the driver's back. And this is where we are. So honestly, Len, I mean, look, this was a master class to our audience, because look, our audience doesn't maybe understand financials as deep as, you know, I do, or I definitely don't get it as deep as you do. But it definitely stirred emotions in the driver community, because they were saying that this is what we've been seeing anyway. You know, the professor could have written this article by just talking to drivers, but you didn't, obviously. What you did is you collected a whole bunch of data, as much as you can get your hands on, and did your article. So I commend you for it. I think you become a hero of the driver community, to be perfectly honest with you. I've never seen anything like this, you know, go viral or I mean, most of the time you will have two opinions on an article, right? You know, there'll be obviously people who applaud, and there'll be people who boo you, right? I've never seen this one-sided commentary on anything that I've ever read, ever. And it was unequivocally agreeing with you. So I'll give you a few more minutes at the end. I think you did some justice to a lot of drivers who've been saying this. And, you know, the question is, what can be done to reverse this trend? Do you have any advice? I know you're not a driver, but do you have any advice?
Well, I guess the question is, who has to sort of rethink the way they are approaching this business? You know, I've been a consultant for most of my life. This academic thing is just a second act for me. So I was in the business where companies used to pay extortionate amounts of money to get advice, and I'm out of that business. So no one's asking for advice, and certainly not paying for me to give advice. But I'll give some advice to both the company Uber and to its driver community. I honestly believe that what the company has done to turn around its financial performance is exactly what a logical and effective CEO could and should have done. And in the article I wrote before this one that came out earlier in the year, before I had access to all the data you referred to, I speculated. At that time, it was very early in the game of the new pricing driver pay policy. And I speculated that with the newfound control that Uber now had on both sides of its marketplace, it had the opportunity and the need to sort of put into place new math. I think that was the title of the article, Uber's new math to raise prices and squeeze driver pay. And I said in that article, I would probably do the same thing if I were in Dara Khosrowshahi's shoes. There's nothing illegal or immoral or anything else. I mean, a business is in business to make money, and it has the opportunity and the need. Here's my thing. I believe the biggest advantage that Uber has in this business is it knows more about its customers and its drivers than any company in the world. It has more data, more knowledge, and arguably more sophisticated AI routines to make the most of that data to try to extract the price that customers are willing to pay and pay that a driver will accept. And I don't begrudge that at all. Matter of fact, that's what an effective CEO should do. So my advice is not so much to change that. No, it's working. It's doing great. Keep it up. I just feel that the corporate communications of this company and the way it communicates with certainly its driver stakeholder group, but to the world at large, I think underestimates the intelligence and the dedication of drivers. And that to me is the biggest mistake that is easily fixable. I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of what they're doing. They're running a business. They're in a business to make money. Passengers are willing to pay the prices they're charging, and drivers are willing to take the trips that they're being paid for. So just be straight and clear the way everyone else is communicating in this industry. And I tell you, I've been overwhelmed by the response. I've gotten hundreds of emails and text messages and seen posts on Reddit, and I don't use Facebook, but hundreds. And I've just been blown away with kind of the intelligence of saying, thank you for trying to clarify what we've been trying to, for being our voice, basically. And I appreciate the praise, but I think Uber's been its own worst enemy on this, to be exact. And I want to share one. I have a whole slew, but I won't waste your audience's time. But just a couple of notes that have been sent to me, email and the like. Dara gave a talk, and I referenced this talk in the article. In late October, he was interviewed on stage by Kara Swisher, who's one of the most well-known and respected tech reporters, covers the tech industry and has for 2 decades. And she's always known as asking tough questions, and so she gave Dara a pretty good grilling on stage. It was her typical performance. And Dara, I've said to a lot of folks, including Uber execs, I consider Dara the most effective corporate communicator I've ever seen. I've never seen someone handle quarterly earnings reports or interviews on stage or social media accounts. I mean, he's just amazingly smooth, effective, likable, et cetera, et cetera. And but he on that stage, when asked specifically about take rates, and the interviewer said, I've been hearing driver complaints that you're taking, more and more of the passenger fare. Dara said, looking, straight out at the audience, it was a tech conference, not a driver conference, and said, our take rate in the U.S. in the most recent quarter was 15% after we sort of take out our commercial insurance payments, which of course are really high. But I think that's fair because that's, that we're providing a lot of service. There happened to be one tech executive there who used to be an Uber driver and an Uber employee. And she yelled out from the balcony in this 1,400 seat, packed theater, you're a liar. Look, feelings were running very high, but I think this is an example that drivers feel that they're just not being heard. I mean, everyone in Uber knows how drivers define take rate. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science. And to just kind of deny their feelings instead of saying, hey, our costs are going up, we're doing it. When you put that number out, it just drives folks batty. And so she wrote me, the woman who called that out. And here's her short note. She said, Len, I'm the ex-Uber driver and ex-Uber employee who called Dara a liar from the balcony at the Castro Theater during Kara Swisher's interview at the tech conference. And your article explains why so well. Thank you. Dara is a good person, but I wrote him and Kara that he needs to revise his talking points about take rates. To Uber, just be straight up with your community. Yep. And I think everyone would be better off, including Uber, and most notably.
Wait. Did they just say Dara's a good person? They just said Dara's a good person. Okay, you guys can say anything you want, but you gotta be fucking nice to Dara. You gotta say Dara's a nice person. You gotta say he's a great CEO and leader. You can say anything you want. Oh my God. Hold on. I gotta rewind this stuff too, because this gets stupid.
You're a liar. Look, feelings were running very high, but I think this is an example that drivers feel that they're just not being heard. I mean, everyone in Uber knows how drivers define take rate. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science. And to just kind of deny their feelings instead of saying, hey, our costs are going up, we're doing it.
Okay, that's what I want to say. Our costs are going up. What cost does Uber bear? The drivers bear the cost of capital, the cost of operations, the cost of gas. Their costs are going up. What drugs is Len Sherman on? Uber's costs are going up. These idiots said themselves that inflation helps them. They're making more money, not less money, Len Sherman. You consultant who is now an academic at Columbia Business School. You've got to be kidding me. Did he just say Uber's costs are going up? Sergio, Sergio, you got to come on the show. I have Sergio's cell number, but I blocked it. I don't use it anymore because I don't feel it's appropriate for us to have any kind of a personal relationship with what he does for a living. I don't feel comfortable with any of this anymore. Haven't for a long time. So I haven't spoken to Sergio for a very long time. But the bottom line here is this is ridiculous. This is fucking patently ridiculous. They're playing this fence. They're playing this Harry Campbell fence. Harry Campbell is selling genocide through his own channel, and he's got these stooges up here pretending that they're on the side of drivers or that this is rational. How can a business professor from Columbia act like this is a legitimate business when he knows it's nothing but algorithmic wage discrimination? There's an award-winning paper written by Vina Dubal called The House Always Wins. Algorithmic wage discrimination. This is pure fraud. This is a crime against humanity, Len Sherman, corporate professor Len Sherman from Columbia fucking Business School. Sergio, Chris, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. God damn it, you're stupid and terrible.
Put that number out, it just drives. But I think this is an example that drivers feel that they're just not being heard. I mean, everyone in Uber knows.
Oh, you're not being heard. I don't need you to hear me. Pay me. You're not being heard.
How drivers define take rate.
Drivers don't define take rate. Drivers define income. Pay us.
It's not complicated.
It is complicated. It's a fucking ununderstandable, unknowable, infinite black box algorithm. None of these figures mean anything. This is an illusion. These guys are sitting here talking about grand theft human as if it's a legitimate business. I have a goddamn master's in business administration from the Duke University Fuqua School of Business in Durham, North Carolina, one of the finest business institutions on this planet Earth. This is not a fucking legitimate business, goddammit. What the fuck are you people doing? Sorry. I got to apologize to my housemates probably for yelling.
It's not rocket science. And to just kind of deny their feelings instead of saying, hey, our costs are going up, we're doing it. When you put that number out, it just
our costs are going up.
Drives folks batty. And so she wrote me.
Just explain it better. Explain better why you have to make people slaves to your technology.
The woman who called that out. And here's her short note. She said, Len, I'm the ex-Uber driver and ex-Uber employee who called Dara a liar from the balcony at the Castro Theater during Kara Swisher's interview.
Oh, he's a liar, but he's a nice guy.
At the tech conference. And your article explains why so well. Thank you. Dara is a good person.
Oh.
But I wrote him and Kara that he needs to revise his talking points about take rates. So that's my advice to Uber.
Hitler was a good person. He just needed to revise his talking points. Dr. Mengele was a swell person. He just needed to revise his talking points. Stalin was a swell guy. He just needed to revise those talking points. Donald Trump is a really great person. He just needs to revise his talking points. Joe Biden is a tremendous feller. He just needs to revise his talking points. Let us be certain, ladies and gentlemen, we love all our great leaders. Mark Zuckerberg, wonderful feller, just the talking points. Sam Altman, sister raping, sister fucking Sam Altman, megalomaniac, young billionaire, suicidal, genocidal psychopath. He's a swell feller, just needs to kind of revise a few of those talking points. I wouldn't worry about it. They'll revise their talking points.
Just be straight up with your community. And I think everyone would be better off, including Uber, and most notably Uber, but certainly I think drivers would feel more respected, and they deserve to be. And then as for drivers,
pay us. We can respect ourselves. Corporations don't respect you. Corporations are not humans, and you're not employees. Pay us. Don't respect us. Don't measure our take rate. Don't propose legislation and new rules. Pay. That's what workers deserve for employment. That's what workers deserve for labor, is pay. Not this fucking corporate wankership based on a goddamn illusion. Columbia Business School, you should be ashamed of yourself. What the hell are you people doing? Are you teaching fraud to your students? Or are you teaching them how to run their own corporate AI scams like Stanford University's School of Business? Well, I assume you fucking are. I assume you fucking are. They can all go compete in the Y Combinator for who can enslave the most people around the world. 73 countries, is that what you said for Uber? I'd never heard that number before. 73 fucking countries? 73 fucking countries for these motherfuckers that they're enslaving? You think Uber deserves a take rate? Somebody please come on the fucking air with me and explain to me how Uber deserves a take rate in 73 fucking countries for an algorithm with no capital investment. You know why pirates in Africa rob ships and take millions of dollars? Because that's their job. The global oil companies came in and then fucking took their land, polluted it, debased it, destroyed the communities, didn't even offer them a single job. Just took the land and paid off the oligarchs, and they're all starving to death. So they're like, fuck it, we're pirates. Well, here you go, motherfuckers. Fuck it. We're pirates. You're a pirate. I'm a fucking pirate. You're a pirate. We're pirates. We ain't got no, there ain't no fucking laws. How many times have I told you in the last couple of days? This is anarcho-fascism. There are no rules. You got here a fucking business professor from Columbia University telling you how the Nazis operate. What kind of anarcho-fascist corporation is out to exterminate humanity? And he's fucking talking about the take rate on app slavery, the take rate on slavery. Why isn't he talking about the wage? Why isn't he talking about the actual wage? Why don't they let him talk about how much money? Oh, because there is no how much money. There is no how much money. Because if we talked about how much money, it'd all be a fucking horror. So we don't even say the number. Did you notice how these motherfuckers ain't said a number yet? Oh, well, we can't tell you what they earn. We don't know. They earn stuff. They earn money. What are their expenses? We don't know. It's all impossible to calculate. It all comes out of fucking black box AI. God, the global scam they're running on you people. You should each carry a pitchfork and a fucking torch in your car for the people that did this fucking scam on you. Every single one of you should be carrying a pitchfork and a fucking torch in your car, and you should be figuring out how to fucking disembowel these fucking corporate motherfuckers with peace. Peace, peace, peace. That's the difference between me and other people. I take people down with fucking peace. I'm a mean motherfucker. Don't get me wrong. Maybe the meanest. Maybe the nastiest. Who fucking cares? Not me. But I'll tell you what, I do it with peace. All you got to do, take these fuckers down, is truth. Truth and peace. Truth and peace. But you got to wield it like a fucking weapon. You got to wield that peace like a fucking weapon, because it's the only fucking weapon you got. You got truth and peace. They got the fucking monopoly on fucking pigs that'll come smoke you. They got the monopoly on violence. The only thing you can do is peaceful civil disobedience. That's what I've spent my adult life doing, is peaceful civil disobedience, refusing to go along with crime and slavery and fraud and lies. What the fuck are we doing here? Man, I wasn't born for this shit. I was not born for this shit. I'm not going to sit here and be a fucking slave for anybody. It ain't going to fucking happen. Boy, you better smoke me fast, kids. Better smoke me fast, because I'm fucking pissed off. Man, Sergio and Chris and Len Sherman, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You are operating beneath what I would expect of three intelligent, seemingly allegedly intelligent men who have been paid off by Harry Campbell to be a fucking group of corporate simps and poverty pimps. Little fucking pissants selling payday loans. Selling payday loans to slaves and then telling them about fucking percentages instead of money. What you talk about how they fucking pay their bills for their fucking slavery, you fucking idiots.
As well, you guys are the voice of.
We got that covered.
You guys are the voice of drivers about show me the money and know your worth.
Oh, are they?
Or being part of, but
are they the voice of drivers? Are they the voice of drivers who show me the money and show you their worth? Is that what they are? Is that what they are? Is that what this is? Is this the voice of the drivers? What if the voice of the drivers has something to do with fucking money? Or if the money supply is all gone, then compensate us in something else. Give us fucking food. Give us fucking housing for our slavery. How about we be your fucking slaves and you give us food, housing, medical care, and a decent standard of life and safety? We'll be your slaves in America. We'll be your corporate slaves. I'll be your slave, but you give me food, housing, medical care, a safe community, and peace in the world, and I'll be your slave. How's that? I'll vote for you if you don't want to kill people. Anybody who wants to kill people, I'm not voting for you. Anybody that wants to have the highest prison population in human history and in the world, I'm not voting for you. Anybody that supports the terrorists in the gang in blue, I'm not voting for you, ever. This country's done. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you. God, fucking idiots.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
And but he on that stage, when asked specifically about take rates, and the interviewer said, you know, I've been.
The question
I
is,
lost where
what
we're
can
at.
be done to
I honestly believe that what the company has done to turn around its financial performance is exactly what a logical and effective CEO could and should have done.
You see that? You see that? Well, way to go, Len Sherman. Way to tell us you're biased, Len Sherman, for this study. So Len Sherman did this study, and he said this exactly what fucking Dara should have done. So he wrote this article, and he comes on fucking this show and says, this is exactly taking your wages for their profits is exactly what should have been done. What the who is this guy? Who is this guy? Is this Pedro? Is this Pedro in an old man suit? Is this Pedro in an old man suit, Mary Poppins? Is this Pedro in an old man suit? Is Pedro not really on a cruise? Pedro is actually Len Sherman.
Believe that what the company has done to turn around its financial performance is exactly what a logical and effective CEO could and should have done. And the article I wrote before this one that came.
My God, these people have no shame. My God, these people have no shame. It's exactly what I would have done too. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, people? What are you gonna do? Look, when you're a fucking corporate genocidal fucking Hitler wannabe, you just got to do your job. It's what I'd do too. Goddamn, Len Sherman sounds like he's up for the job personally. Len Sherman sounds like he's up for the job personally. Maybe you're the man, Len Sherman.
Came out earlier in the year before I had access to all the data you referred to. I speculated. At that time, it was very early in the game of the new pricing driver pay policy. And I speculated.
Is that what it is? A driver pay policy? Is that what they're doing? A driver pay policy? Is that what they teach at Columbia Business School? It's about driver pay. I never learned that kind of accounting, guys. I never learned that at the Duke University Fuqua School of Business. I never learned this kind of accounting. I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't. I took managerial accounting. I took financial accounting. I took all the classes, man. I never learned this. Why didn't I learn this, Mary Poppins? Why didn't they teach me this shit?
That with the newfound control that Uber now had on both sides of its marketplace.
Oh, the newfound control that Uber had on both sides of its marketplace. You hear what these fucking idiots are telling you? I can't even take any more of this dog shit. I really fucking can't. Well, I just wanted to show you what this alleged community of Harry Campbell, the rideshare guy, is. What this alleged community is. And here's this fucking idiot. This is the one that the handsome liberal talked about. This guy who said who talks about how he drove Uber years ago and how you can make six figures. Here, this guy. Uber,
the more crap they
called this guy out, called this guy straight up bullshit. This is more of the rideshare guys' propaganda. They have different idiots come on here. This guy doesn't appear on the rideshare guy show. He's just a different idiot, different shill. I'll unmute it as soon as this guy's off the screen again. So probably everybody's selling you AI, some alternate reality, which is probably, we all need an alternate reality right now, but it won't help us. It'll just kill us. We need to just live in truth. That's the only thing that's going to save it. Jay Craduer. Look at this dipshit.
This video, we're going to talk about something we all love. Money. Yes, money. Let me show you lots of money. This is what lots of money looks like.
Wow.
So For many people,
wow, why would you not be proud of this content? That's some great content there, friend. Look at this. Let's watch that again. Wow, this is, GigTube is just the gift that never stops giving. GigTube is just the freaking gift that never stops giving. Look at this.
all right, in this video, we're going to talk about something we all love. Money. Yes.
Yes.
Money.
Money.
Let me show you lots of money.
Oh, that's money. Look, Mary
This
Poppins,
is what
there's money.
lots of money looks like.
That's what lots of money looks like.
So,
you couldn't fucking
let me
earn that in
show
a lifetime of app slavery, but that's what it looks like. You couldn't earn that in a fucking lifetime of dog shit app slavery, but that's what it looks like, Mary Poppins.
All right. In this video, we're going to talk about something we all love.
What do we love?
Money. Yes.
Yes.
Money.
Money.
Let me show you lots of money.
Oh, look, that's lots of money.
This is what lots of money looks like.
That's what lots of money looks like.
So,
God,
for many people, making, clearing $100,000, being a member of the six-figure club is an achievement.
The six-finger club? Are you a member of the six-finger club?
Being a member of the six-figure club,
What do you do with six fingers? That makes you feel better.
So we're going to look at expenses, two main expenses, and we're going to look at how much you can make per hour, and we're going to...
So, Handsome Liberal did
in this video, we're going to talk about some...
Shut up, whatever your name is. Shut up, shutting up. The Handsome Liberal did a great video on this guy. On that exact video, and I know we watched it the other day, but it's short. Let's see. Handsome Liberal is always a good channel. He does a lot of political stuff too, which I'm not into because I think it's all completely and totally fucking worthless. Our government's gone. They sold us out long ago. They're not going to do a damn thing for us. They sold us out to the corporations. The corporations are our government. Until we kick them out, which is the great thing because we can kick them out. Fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. So let's see here. Uber driver earns. This one's great.
I do watch a lot of other content on other.
Hold on.
When it comes to any employee, any worker seeking higher wages, higher benefits, more rewards from their employer, their biggest enemy is generally another employee, another worker doing the exact same thing, claiming that the environment, the pay is actually not that bad. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. Now, this one comes straight from, I believe, the Ride Share Guys channel. This one is downright upsetting, almost insulting to any driver in existence. Now, I'll make it clear, I do watch a lot of other content on other channels, and I'm a big fan of Sergio on the Rideshare Guys channel, or Rideshare Professor, whatever it's called. But there is another gentleman that was on the channel the other day. Many of you folks that watch other content probably saw this video, giving a description of how a rideshare driver could potentially earn six figures as an Uber or Lyft driver, driving in rideshare and earning over $100,000 per year. What made the video particularly distressing is not only is it on the same channel with someone like Sergio, who's often fighting against, taking garbage and against the pay that we receive, but this guy makes some wild claims numerically. Now, in the video, he gives the way you can earn $100,000.
Wild claims.
I mean, he gives some decent advice in regards to the type of vehicle you should have. Talked about having a hybrid because it's, the cheapest on fuel. Talked about expenses and things like that. But the part that I have a particular problem with, and I'm assuming most of you folks, the main issue is him stating that as a driver, you can earn $40 to $50 per hour. And he stated that that was being conservative. In other words, maybe I could earn 60 or 70 bucks an hour, but just to make the video, make sense for everybody, I'm going to knock it down to $40 an hour. I can earn 40 bucks an hour. And then he talked about working potentially 12 hours per day. 40 bucks an hour, 12 hours per day. Even talked about taking 4 weeks of vacation off per year. But if you work 12 hours a day for 5 days a week, you're earning $40 an hour or more, you'll make your 6 figures. Anyone who hears this and doesn't think this is bullshit is totally, you're out of your fucking mind. This is like literally eating the waste out of a cow's ass and not calling it bullshit. Even Derek Costashawi, the CEO of Uber, when asked how much do rideshare drivers earn, we did a video on it because we even referred to Derek Costashawi's claims as bullshit. Even the CEO of Uber stated that drivers can earn as much as $39 per utilized hours. Meaning that you're only earning that $39 an hour the times you have someone in your vehicle. If you are out driving for 10 hours, all of the time that you're driving to pick someone up or sitting around waiting for calls doesn't count in the $39 per hour. And we know if you're driving for 10 hours during the course of a day, at least probably an hour to 2 of those hours is going to be involved in going to pick someone up or simply sitting, waiting for a trip to come through. You're not going to be driving for 10 hours and somebody's going to be in the damn car all 10 hours. I don't even know how they would put this on the channel other than just for clickbait on the grounds that, hey, I can make a bunch of money as a rideshare driver. I'm looking to get into Uber or Lyft. Let me click on this video to get these instructions. This is also why a lot of folks get involved with ride sharing and then they become disgruntled or bankrupt and get out because you got folks like this telling you there is a windfall of cash to be made. Listen, folks, when it comes to driving and ride share, most drivers, as opposed to this guy claiming you're getting $40 an hour, most guys are probably earning anywhere between $10 to $25 per hour. And that's including tips, because he talked about tips. Most markets, the passengers are only 20 to 30% of passengers are tipping. Now, in my market, 72 cents a mile. So understand that if I'm getting 72 cents a mile, you could put a passenger in my vehicle and I could drive on the highway at 60 miles per hour. So in other words, I could have a passenger in the car for 60 straight miles the entire damn hour. And I would only make 43 bucks at 60 miles an hour. That means I got to drive a full 60 miles and I would make 43 bucks. There's no way in hell the average driver is driving 60 miles of passenger carry per hour. This is not even close to what drivers make. This is just straight up inflated numbers. Nobody is making 40 bucks an hour. For them to let him even say this on the channel is insane. When even a CEO is claiming that drivers are making $39 per utilized hour. So his numbers are actually even optimistic as opposed to Derek Costashawi. Now he claims he drove full-time 2016 to 2019 and he was making $133,000 or something like that per year. I don't even want to go back into that because, listen, we know several years ago, I mean, he's going back as far as 7 years, you could make a hell of a lot more money in ride sharing than you do now. You had multipliers, you had surge pricing and all of that shit. Most of that stuff is all but non-existent or very rare in almost every market. Now, I make it clear I don't drive unless they're offering some type of earnings incentive like surge pricing, street bonuses, or earnings guarantee. And even with all of that shit added on, it's hard to make $40 an hour. If Lyft offers you an additional $15 street bonus for 3 trips, you do 3 trips, will give you an extra $15. You still sometimes do not make $40 in an hour with the bonus added on, because most trips are paying anywhere between $3 to maybe $6 an hour. And you can only do so many of these damn trips per hour. So the idea of you making $40 an hour seems all but impossible. Like I said, in my market, I generally do between 3 to 4, maybe 5 if I'm lucky, trips per hour. Let's say, being optimistic, I could do 5 trips in an hour. Every hour for 12 fucking hours, 5 days or 6 days a week or whatever the hell he said for a whole year. That's absolutely not going to happen. But let's say I could do that. I could average 5 trips an hour. That would mean to make $40 an hour. Each one of those trips needs to pay $8. That just doesn't happen. That just absolutely does. There's nothing about his metrics that make sense. For them to let him be on the channel saying this shit unchallenged is insane, because their channel supposedly fights the good fight and is in favor of helping out drivers. This is just flat out bad fucking information. But let me know in the comments, folks. How much do you average per hour? Are the tips that damn good that you can earn $40 an hour on average, 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day, whatever the hell he said, and then do that day after day after day all over the year? I mean, just think about that. To average $40 an hour, 10 to 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, 48 weeks out of the year. No way in hell that happens. You drive 10, 12 hours a day. Some of them hours you may make $7, $8 because you may not get trips between rush hour. Now, he was in San Francisco, a very busy market. I get it, but 99.9% of U.S. are not as busy as San Francisco. So keep that in mind also. But fact is, people don't tip. There's only so much you can do per hour. Their fuel prices vary all over the damn place, and particularly in San Francisco and California, fuel prices are insane. I don't see how you could come close in 2023 as a rideshare driver to making $100,000 a year doing what he stated. Now, if you're driving every single damn hour you're awake and you're getting a bunch of good tips, maybe for the course of a fucking year, but that's got to be odds like in the lottery range. Nobody's doing that. Let me know where I'm missing out. Maybe I'm in a bad market, not seeing something, or is this guy just simply full of shit? It's your boy Tim. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.
For the love of money.
Yeah, wow. Good job, Tim, of taking that apart. Boy, the rideshare guy channel has a lot to be answering for today, doesn't he? Harry Campbell. Harry Campbell's channel has a lot to answer for. So the question we can ask ourselves is, as human assets, because they see us as assets, we're not employees. We are not even known. We're simply an asset to be used by corporate AI and then disposed of in their corporate accounting of their fraud. Don't listen to their statements about profitability or any type of corporate struggle when the most basic tenets of their business are built upon the fact that they have all the information and all the power, and you have nothing but Grand Theft Human, a game in which you are exploited. So here's a question. Here's a question, and here's an answer for you. What happens when you take a people's land and you take a people's resources and you leave no work or economy or money supply for the people to earn. So what's going to happen? What happens to a people who get decapitated while they're still living? You get decapitated by corporate app slavery, by corporate slavery. Corporate slavery and app slavery is the same thing. Slavery is slavery. Uh, well, let's watch. This is what I was watching over the last few days too. I think this is what we have to understand we're actually facing. This is modern pirates, menace of the Africa coast. Um, and listen for this. We're only going to watch the first part, but the guy being interviewed wraps it up nicely by saying, quote, "You come to exploit, but you don't want to employ, comma, this is why we do this." Ask yourself, who are the pirates? Who are the pirates in this scenario? Who are the pirates? Well, that's the opening credits of Modern Pirates Menace on the African Coast. So I think one would ask themselves if they were being honest, intellectually honest, which very few people are willing to be. Who are the pirates? Well, the pirates are the international oil companies. The pirates are not the people that are called pirates. Those are the people who are being occupied in their home by terrorists and by a government who sold them out. That's us. That's us right now. We've been sold out. No jobs. Gig apps and app slavery don't provide jobs. They're not designed to provide jobs. They're designed to use humans and exploit humans for a very short period of time. Very short period of time. That period of time is already coming to an end. Pure fraud. Pure fraud. Why is pure fraud allowed? Because pure fraud is just part of the game. And you're the chosen victims. The people in poverty, the same people who face recognition technology can't see properly, people with darker skin. Well, guess what? You're also the targets of app slavery. You're also the targets of immigration scams. You're the targets of all kinds of shit. Welcome to the narco-fascist United States of America, the warmongering, genocide perpetrating monsters of the United States of America. We do it all for you. We got the moral authority to kill everybody. Kill everybody. But see, that's what makes me different. If you want to say what makes me different than most people that cover this stuff, is I talk about how to fight back with peace. Most people don't know how to either fight back at all, and if they do know how to fight back, they think fighting back means violence. And see, I know, because I've been doing this for a very long time, that violence is the exclusive right of the state, and that violence is a game that the people can never win. The only way the people can win long term, and we want to win, at this point, we're not talking about defeating one king or one queen or overthrowing one government. We're talking about a global anarcho-fascist corporatocracy. You're talking about a global anarcho-fascist corporatocracy, and the only way that the people defeat that is with peace and coming together to disempower the technocracy, because they can only rule us with AI. They can't rule us with an iron fist. They can only rule us with an iron fist if we want to go, fight cops in the street, but that's a fool's errand. You don't want to fight cops anywhere. The gang in blue is the biggest, baddest gang out there. The only way to take care of those fuckers is to have a revolution peacefully and just fire them all. Just fire them all. And create new local public safety officers as necessary in a new society. This old society based upon fraud, based upon the Wild West, based upon there being no rules except for the corporations exploit us. And we're so brainwashed. Americans are so brainwashed most Americans believe that corporations have the God-given right to exploit them to the point of death and slavery. People actually believe that in the pursuit of profits, in the pursuits, Sergio in that video called them the mother's milk, and he sided with Uber and said, well, you know, profits are the mother's milk of corporate America. No, profits are the lie of corporate America. Profits are the lies of corporations. Profits are what corporations use as the excuse to exterminate you. That's like saying, you know, napalm is the mother's milk of airplanes. Yeah, napalm is the mother's milk of airplanes, and profits are the mother's milk of corporate America, I guess. Sure. Profits are just fucking napalm. We're just burning everything fucking down. It's a great analogy, actually. Sometimes I'm smarter than I know, because I don't even know where that fucking came from. I guess I've been watching enough war movies. Profits are basically napalm, corporate napalm. You got to write that one down. That's a good analogy. Here's the link to if you're intrigued by this documentary, as I was, I watched the whole thing. It's called Modern Pirates Menace on Africa Coast, and there's the link for you there in the chat. So, look, there's no other conclusion for you to have at this point as a logical and awake human being other than to the fact that the anarcho-fascist corporatocracy is here to kill you. So it's going to be your responsibility to go save the world. No pressure. But you are, in fact, the leaders and the individuals that will begin to fight back against this with truth and transparency. Because if you don't, you're going to have the Sergios and Chris's and the Harry Campbells and the rideshare guys and all these idiots out there wasting the last days of humanity while we're being exterminated by talking about take rates. Not talking about money, but talking about take rates. Take rates. Why would a take rate? What's your take? So I'll give you a 99% take rate, Simple Toaster, and a take rate of what? A buck. I'll give you a 99% take rate of a buck, Simple Toaster. You happy? Are you happy now? 99% take rate for you, Simple Toaster. Congratulations. Congratulations, my dear friend. Got a 99% take rate. Honestly, I have so many more stories about the fucking horror of what's going on right now. That I can hardly, I don't know. I mean, literally, I could just go on like this for like days. Like, that's how many. I've just gone through like 3 different links with you or something. Check this out. This is, let's look at Twitter for a second. This is interesting. And then we'll probably get the hell out of here and go do something more productive with our time than yelling at you. I'm sorry I yelled at you, but because it's I care. I just want you to live. I want you to live very badly. I hope you want to live as bad as I want you to live. So back in April of 2020, around pandemic time, when I was trying to tell people not to be stupid, and I told people that then was the time to have a general strike because they were being fucking fleeced by the government. That's what I told them back in 2020. I got a good record, kids. If you want to go look at my win-loss record and predictions, you go check out my work. I'm right too often. I want to be wrong, and I'm not virtually ever, because I don't say stuff unless I've researched it a lot. But anyway, that's not the point. The point isn't whether I'm right or not. The point is I am a reliable source of predictions for you. I am telling you what's happening. I told you what was happening years ago. Now it's still happening. I'm telling you more. Please listen. Please save yourself. Please help. Please survive along with my children. What now? if the government won't make a plan for our survival, these are words that I wrote in April of 2020. What now? If the government won't make a plan for our survival, and spoiler alert, they're doing the opposite, then it's up to us and only us to make a better plan. The regime's plan for us to return to work worse off and more desperate than ever. Oh, the regime's plan is for us to return to work worse off and more desperate than ever. Say no, general strike. Was I right or was I wrong? Was I right or was I right? I was right. I was right. And that was under Trump. And it's the same under Biden. Doesn't matter which fucking old septuagenarian or octogenarian baby boomer son of a bitch you throw in there. Doesn't matter which fucking old son of a bitch you throw in there. They're all the same. And this is what I wrote in the article called Brutal Reality, which you can see in any of my platforms. We must lead and support a general strike that brings the business of this nation to a halt. This general strike must be so pervasive and complete that the oligarchs and kleptocrats, that's people that steal the worst of us, the worst thieves of us that are the leaders, oligarchs and thieves, flee our country to protect their ill-gotten wealth. It's then that we can get our civil rights back and live in never before experience safety and peace. It's your choice. It's our choice. Begin your revolutionary thinking, I said, if you haven't yet. There's no going back to our ways and old world. We the people require new governments and leaders to replace this American kakistocracy, constructed to enslave and kill us. Death's easy, living's hard, and government's harder. God, I hate my own fucking words sometimes. Don't forget the wisdom uttered in the parting lines of actor Slim Pickens from Rancho Deluxe. Great movie, you should see it, which could both save your ranch and your life on any given Sunday. High-level organized crime like the American federal government perpetrates upon us, and this was before app slavery. This was before I was an app slave. But the app slavery is just one step further down the fucking pipe to hell. High-level organized crime like the American federal government and app slavery from the global corporate AI cabal perpetrates upon us is always an inside job. David Risher's an inside job. Dara Khosrowshahi, look, I got the name right, is an inside job. Sergio Avedian and Chris and Harry Campbell and Pedro DoorDash Santos, they're all inside jobs, man. This is an inside job. It's a sew shop. They're running the sew shop on you. Don't let them run a sew shop on you. So what? This is one of the great videos. Watch this. The Slim Pickens.
Rule of thumb: you follow it, you might be able to hang on to this ranch of yours. All large-scale crime is an inside job. Running up and down the road, taking fingerprints and sending trash off to the crime labs, just don't get it done. You're dealing with people, you gotta be human. Rule of thumb: you follow it, you might be able to hang on to this ranch of yours. All large-scale crime is an inside job. Running up and down the road, taking fingerprints and sending trash off to the crime labs, just don't get it done. You're dealing with people, you gotta be human. Rule of thumb: you follow it.
See, and that's why the rideshare guy is worthless. That's why the rideshare guy is worthless, because running up and down the road, taking fingerprints and whatever, doing what Sergio and Chris and Len Sherman, this shilling that these guys are doing, running up and down the road, ain't going to do a damn thing. It's an inside job. They're sitting there, hey, Bigfoot Dasher. These guys sitting here sucking on the oligarch Dara Khosrowshahi. What a wonderful Nazi feller this genocidal fucking freak is. But they think he's a swell feller. Well, that's an inside job. This is an all inside job. You guys need to fucking go to war with some peace here. I'm telling you, this is a tactical war. You don't ever have to hurt anybody, but you gotta get hard. You gotta start swinging hard. I hope everybody shares this video. There's been a lot of shit today. I've done too much yelling. I probably need to go apologize to my neighbors because my voice carries about 7 city blocks when I start yelling, and we don't want that to happen. So I apologize for scaring the neighbors, and hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Watch this, share this with your friend all the way from the start. Share this with your friends all the way from the start, because this is about civil rights. This dog shit that's going on here. Jigs up, genocide on, war on. Let's fucking go, kids. Let's fucking go. Okay, Sinful Toaster, Bigfoot, Dasher, Mary Poppins, Stephen Arrow, all my good friends for being here with us this morning. Sam Lee, Necro, thanks for stopping by. JP, of course. Who else we got? Time to Wake Up, always my good friend. Thank you to Handsome Liberal, very handsome, and Rideshare Guy, and Sergio Vedia, and Harry Campbell. Get straight with the Lord, you guys. My goodness, you're doing bad shit. Let's wake the fuck up and start trying to survive, shall we? Everybody have a nice day. Stay peaceful.